say that.
You play to win the game.
My message for the fans, we're all frustrated with where we are right now.
Jets, Jets.
Well, hello, Jets fans. Here we are again, back on Thursday for the Thursday Think of It. I am GreenBean, and I am excited to be here with you. Right before it started, my microphone thing broke. So look at this. I'm swinging. It just went ping, and everything shot. I got little tiny screws all over the place. So once I bring on good old Frankie from Flatbush, I'll take a second and fix this. But in the meantime, hello. It's good to see you. I saw you guys this morning, which was very, very nice. I want to just take a second and remind you that this is the biggest damn game in Jets history since 2015. I said that. That's an original thought. Nobody ever said that before me. And that's the way it goes. This is a huge one, man. I am excited about the Jets' chances. Mike White's back. Sauce Gardner's there. Quinnen Williams will be there. We got CJ Mosley, all the guys. They're all coming to the game, and we're going to beat the living hell out of the Seattle Seahawks. I don't even know why you guys are getting like in that mode where you're like, I don't think we're going to win. Of course we're going to win this game. What is this madness? We're going to win in Seattle at 4:05. I could not be more excited to be a part of it with you. As you guys know, Jeremy and I will be live at least for the game. We might even start a little bit early. What the hell else am I going to do? I'm used to being live at 1 o'clock. So maybe I just go live for the Pats game and we do a 7-hour thing. Who knows? That might be something we consider. But guys, please don't forget, there are ways to support the channel before I bring Frankie on. It is very important for the growth and the maintenance of the channel. If you could do a few simple things. One is hit that little thumbs up button. It means the world. It changes the entire dynamic of the YouTube algorithm. If you have not subscribed, I got 29, 30. I got 3 days left to get 150 subs. We're close. I'm happy. I'm grateful. I'm proud, but it's starting to look like we ain't going to make it. So if you haven't subscribe to this channel, please take a second and do so. It would be greatly appreciated. I want to point out as well, we have a new membership on the channel in addition to the very entailed Beanbaggers. The Beanbaggers is the Patreon group. We do all sorts of get-togethers, classic games, all 22 breakdowns, stuff like that. But the Stream Beans is a one-tier membership you can get involved with right here on the live streams. That will give you additional emojis and some other things, free super chats, things like that. And you can do that by hitting the little tiny oval-like join button. It reminds me of like an old, it just shows you how much of a drug addict I am. It reminds me of an old, a 10 milligram Percocet. I don't know. That's what it looks like to me. That's the way it is. So if you hit the 10 milligram Percocet that says join, you can join the Stream Beans and become a Stream Beaner like me. So with that all said, let's get this show started with our very good friend from Pittsburgh, who's about to go back to work for the first time in 13 years. Let's say hello to Frankie from Flatbush. Hi, Frankie.
Hello and happy Thursday. We might not have had a white Christmas, but perhaps we can have a white New Year.
Frankie, you're doing it again. Showing your brilliance. This is good.
We need a whiteout on Sunday. That's what we need. We need it. And maybe we just might get it. Let's hope so, because as GreenBean said, this might be the most important game in Jet franchise history since 2015. GreenBean is saying that because that's what we were talking about in the green room before the show.
And that was Frankie's line. Frankie goes, I think this is probably the most important games. It's like, oh.
Yeah,
so,
because GreenBean was trying to tell me, enjoy the days, seize the day, Frankie, enjoy every moment you have on this wonderful green earth, and enjoy it to the max. And I said, but wait a minute, GreenBean, we got a game on Sunday. It's Thursday. How am I supposed to enjoy every single day when the most important game that we've had since 2015 is coming up?
Right. He did. He said all those things. Now, I know. And I just said, I didn't plan it. It just came out. I said, I'm stealing it. Why not? I'm just going to take Frankie's thunder and run with it. So, Frankie, if you wouldn't mind, I'm going to ask you a question, and then I'm going to tinker around with the microphone. I'll be right here. I can hear everything. I'm not going to go off screen or anything, but I need about 15 to 30 seconds to just make sure everything's good. Because I can't believe it. Right before I started, literally, it was about to go on. I heard ping, ping, and everything just started shooting across the fucking room. So, Frankie, realistically, man, Mike White is back, and I was asked this question earlier by the chat in the stream this morning, but I was also asked this by Jake Assman today. I was able to spend some time on his show with him this morning, and he asked me, "Do you really think that the return of Mike White is going to be enough of a boost for this team that is clearly reeling, licking their wounds? No run game, offensive line in shambles, defense starting to not be able to get off the field like they struggled with previously. Do you think the return of Mike White is enough to give this team the boost that they need, the shot in the arm to go into Seattle? They're playing for their playoff hopes too, bro. We're in the same boat. They're just as hungry. Their fans are going to be rabid. They're very loud. Do you think Mike White's return is enough?"
Well, I would think so, simply because the man he makes the easy look easy, as Coach Saleh said, and that's really all that we need in this offense, is to just have somebody make the easy stuff look easy. Hit the open guy, hit a screen pass. Go from read 1 to read 2. If it's not there, tuck it and run, get a couple yards, make it easy and just survive another day, survive another down, survive another day. And that's all we need. And that keeps the chains moving, keeps the defense off the field. They don't have to come on the field after a 3 and out every 2 seconds and things of that nature. So it helps the defense. And when you're able to do those things, when you're a threat in the passing game, that backs them off of stacking the box, which enables you to run the ball. And that gives you the balance that you need. If you notice, Country Club Connor Hughes has been asking, to his credit, I guess, the some of the coaches, including Saleh, about this stacking the box phenomenon that I've been talking about the last 3-4 weeks. Maybe Country Club Connor's been listening to Thursday.
I was just going to say that Country Club Connor listens to Frankie from Flatbush. You're the guy who gave him Country Club Connor, man.
I know.
It came from your face.
But look, if that's the case, I'm happy to contribute to the state of journalism today. I really am. Because, if that's what it takes to get good ideas into Country Club Connor's head that he can then ask the coaches about, that'd be wonderful. And by the way, Connor, if you're listening now, I'd like a question about Jeremy Ruckert. Can we find out what the hell's going on with Mr. Ruckert? Why can't he get on the question would be, what is going on with his lack of development that he can't even be active on game days? That would be a nice question for Saleh.
Yeah.
But I do think White can do that. I mean, we've seen from the limited time that he's been on the field this year, we've seen that Mike White can do those things, and that gives us the balance we need. It doesn't have to be 50-50 balance. It needs to be a balance of threat that the defense can't cheat on you and just stack the box all the time and just dare you to throw knowing you can't do it.
Yeah,
that's what he represents out of all the quarterbacks we've had. He's the one who has been able to do that the best this year.
Yeah, well, I think well said. And there was a lot there. Now, I want to say this, though, too. I have noticed since Connor Hughes left The Athletic and went to SNY, and I might add, right in the same time frame, spent quality time with yours truly, GreenBean, he has taken a really hard right turn into being more analytical on the football side of things. That's the actual game. It's very true, right, Frankie?
Yeah.
It's consistent. And I like it. I approve, number one. I appreciate it, number two. And I respect it. Like, I got no problem with hard questions. A few people said that to me. What do you have a problem with hard questions? What are you, fucking pussy? Yeah, that kind of. I'm like, I don't have a problem with hard questions. I have a problem with motive-driven questions and things like that, right? And we don't have to open that whole can. But I like hard questions, and I like questions that we need to know. Like you're saying, like, where the hell is Jeremy Ruckert? Like, where is he now? We used a third-round pick on him. Jets fans were happy. We all liked him. 9 out of 10 Jets fans like Jeremy Ruckert. even the other one Jets fan, the 10 out of 10 said, well, dude, come on, look at that dad. You know what I mean? Like, of course you take that pick. But the truth is, we didn't need a tight end in the third round. We could have taken a few other positions that were more applicable to the team needs at that point. We had just signed Uzoma, Conklin. We had Yeboah. We were good with tight end. We could have, grabbed another developmental guy, but we used a premium pick, third round pick on Ruckert. We're fine with that. Okay, deal. We're in. Where is he? You know what I mean? So what's the deal? Is he hurt? He had that one game where he kind of dove and fell on his face, and that was it. Like we haven't seen him since. So it'll be good. But Connor Hughes has done more football stuff, and I got to say, man, I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed watching him because he said, that's not me. I'm not the numbers and stats guy. I'm this guy. I like the story. Well, he's still telling the story, but he's actually learned a little bit about getting the football acumen up, and I think that's really good. Now, let's say hello. Well, hello a little bit. Jay-Z Jets fan started us off with a little love. Best duo. Hit the like button from Cy Thompson. Thank you. Ant Jets, very similar. I don't think I've acknowledged this properly, Ant Jets. Jets Forever gives us the green heart. Every single stream, Ant Jets throws a little Ant-Man up there. Every stream. So thank you.
What is
Ant-Man. It's Ant-Man.
What is Ant-Man?
You don't, dude, Frankie.
Looks like a little dancing guy.
That's Ant-Man. If it's not Ant-Man, because I'm blind, is it Jeremy? Is it Ant-Man? You're on a bigger screen, right? Let's see, Jeremy. Hold on, come on, Jeremy. Is that Ant-Man?
Hey, this is what we need you for, Jeremy.
It looks like a guy doing the disco. I can't.
Right.
I know it could be John Travolta. It could be a cowboy.
It looks like.
It could be a dancing cowboy. But I think it's Ant-Man sorry, there you go. Thank you, Jeremy. Until we learn otherwise. But either way, he puts it in every stream. So thank you, Ant Jets. Now, what an interesting comment. We got Jets for Life says, glasses, beards, old and young. Are they related? Who's old? Who's young here, Frankie? I guess I'm old.
Well, you got the grayer beard, so
I do.
That is something.
But
I'll take young.
You. Yeah, I'd say, man, that's nice to hear, right? You're young.
Yeah.
I don't know. Young, you jumped out of planes and shit. That'll make you old quick.
That's
right.
Yeah.
That'll get you.
Well, it's the landing. That's the hard part.
Well, that's right. Jumping out's fine. Nothing to it. Nothing. Anybody can do it. Big Green's in the house. That's right, man. Hello, Big Green. There you go. Let's see. Who else is in here? Jets 830's in the house. Thursday, thick of it because we're in the thick of it. That's right. That's exactly the insinuation. Somebody said to me, Jets 830, I like your play on words, like you're sick of it. The Thursday sick. I said, no. That's not what I'm going for at all, bro.
You missed it.
It's
exactly
like, you
wrong.
negative Nancy. You know what I mean? You're sick of it. I like your play. I'm like, no. We're in the thick of it, dude.
Right.
That's what.
And now we're in the thick of the playoff hunt.
That's
Think
right.
about it. I mean, it's going to be
right.
January.
That guy said to me,
January.
Oh yeah, and it's big deal, dude. Look, we're gonna talk all about it. We have so much to unpack here today. That's why I love our festive beginnings. We say hello, we dance around with this and that, we break microphones, we talk about airplanes, whatever it is that we want to do. But the truth is, we have a lot to unpack, and some of those things. Look, we obviously have to talk about the playoffs. We have to talk about, Robert Saleh. He made some comments. We have some really bad rumors. Just stupid, baseless, foundless rumors about the Jets owners going to be firing everybody, and how quickly everybody grabs it, and like what a weird society we live in these days. Nobody goes, wait a second. Well, who said that? I don't know. Some guy. I'm writing a story on it. Really? You're writing a story on that? Yeah. Why? Well, who's the source? I don't know. It's somebody else's non-source. So some girl for NJ.com didn't have a source. Puts it out there. Now they're using her as their source. Then other guys are using that third person as their source. ESPN says, well, when did ESPN say it? What are we talking about? So we'll talk about all that stuff. But we have so much fun stuff. Like Phil Adams, we can get into medication, alcohol, psychiatrists, or we could just watch Frankie and GreenBean on a Thursday. Think of it. Matt Robbins in the house. Kevin C. Jet Pretzel is in the house. We're not getting blown out. We're not getting blown out, Matt, and nobody's getting fired. I'm just telling you that. I mean, there may be some low-level firings, but I don't even see that. I really don't. I think that this regime wants to keep a group of people together for once and actually try to overcome difficulties. Not the second that there's a difficulty, fire everybody. I don't think that's what we're doing. Hey, it could happen, but again, I don't see the support for that, and we're winning anyway. Kevin C. Pretzel have not been broken like a pretzel by. There he is. Oh, okay, Kevin C. That's right, Frankie. This is the Kevin, and I love what you've done with your name. Honestly, great, fantastic way to embrace it and run with it with love, fruit, and juices moving forward. Okay,
I
berries
don't understand. What is going on with the
all right.
pretzel?
Kevin C is the guy. There was a story that came out last week, and the story was born on Jetnation because Kevin is a poster on Jetnation. His name on Jetnation is Kevin C and some other numbers or something. But Kevin was so upset after this Jaguars game. He sat in the rain the whole game. He was livid. So he decided to wait after the game for the Jets to leave the go to the parking lot. So when they did, he hurled insults at Rob Calabrese, and then he said some things to Joe Douglas, and Joe Douglas had about had it, I guess. And the story goes, per our friend Kevin, that Joe Douglas had it, stormed over to him and said, "I'm going to break you like a pretzel." And Robert Saleh had to hold Joe Douglas back, and then security came over, detained Kevin, and brought him inside and made him cocoa or something along those lines. So we've been going back and forth. I told Kevin I think he's got to get a handle on himself, and that I don't really think we should be doing shit like that. Right? That's my take, right? That's my take is I don't think we need to do shit like that. And if we do, this world of anonymity has kind of given us this illusion that we're like nobody can hurt us. And when I grew up, if you said, "Hey, asshole," like you were open for pop to the chops. That's just the way. You got to know that's part of the deal. You've changed the dynamic of this relationship, let's call it, and now that's okay. Now, if Joe Douglas hits him, of course, there's going to be a lawsuit and that, all that. So he shouldn't do that. At the same time, I am actually on the side of good for Joe Douglas for standing up and saying, "Hey, you want to wait for me after I leave work? Well, how about I come over there and break you like a pretzel?" So anyway, me and Kevin kind of got into it the other day on the Tuesday stream when I did 4.5 hours. He was one of the guys I was arguing with. But I love Kevin. He's been with us for a long time, and I've known him for years on Jetnation in addition to that. But anyway, that's so he's chosen to change his name and run with it. So well done, Sarah. I approve of the name change, disapprove entirely of your behavior. So have you heard that story? You missed that.
I missed that one. And let's just hope it would be really, for lots and lots and lots and lots of reasons, would be really, really great to get a win on Sunday, including, I think, the mentality of the fan base. I'm sure Kevin was pretty, upset by what he saw and the conditions, and it was freezing cold and it was raining and all this. We need a salve.
Yeah, solve. Yeah,
a salve.
It's a hard word to say. I will agree with that. I always say it differently. Solve.
Yeah,
I say solve, and I think math. You know what I mean?
Right,
it's a whole thing.
Right. We need a panacea. We need an elixir.
My panacea is good. Let's go with that.
If we get a win on Sunday, I think all the Kevin C's and all the pretzel breaking, we can just stop with all that. We can just be happy for a second.
Yeah. Well, and I'm a fan of that too. Like, I'm look, we talk to a lot of Jets fans, you and I, right? Like we do. We have chats, we have memberships, we have social media, we have all this stuff. So we talk to a lot of Jets fans. And I think by and large, going into this game, most Jets fans that I've communicated with are excited. Dude, we're alive. We got a gift on Christmas. We got a gift. And interestingly enough, we got 2 weeks of gifts, Frankie. Like we needed 2 weeks of games to fall a certain way with us losing for us to even have this conversation. It all happened. So rather than be like glum, like we're just going to lose, like enjoy it, dude. This might be the last week that we are alive. But think about this. Even if that is the case, Frankie, we are alive in the playoff hunt until the second to last game of the season into 2023, or December 32nd, as I like to say. December 32nd. You want to talk about meaningful December football. Now, it sucks we lost all these meaningful December football games, but here it is. And I think that should be celebrated and enjoyed, if I dare I enjoy this rather than already prep for the loss and be upset now when you don't have to be. You agree? Do you see it differently?
Yeah, I do. I mean, and I always kind of stress that when in doubt, zoom out. The great advice of Patty Universe, my good friend. When in doubt, zoom out. And when you zoom out, you see that we're in year 2 of the rebuild. This is supposed to be the transition year. And it hasn't gone as planned in terms of Zach Wilson, certainly.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as the wins go, we're right on target. I mean, even if we get 1 out of these last 2 only, we would have gone from 2 to 4 to 8 wins. Isn't that nice? That's what you're supposed to kind of do. And then next year's the playoff year. So yeah, it'd be great. It kind of stings right now because of the 4 in a row, and because Zach has looked so bad when he's been in there, and that's disappointing as heck. And I will mention Josh Dobbs is getting a start tonight for Tennessee. So I just want to throw a little plug in for my old buddy Josh Dobbs. Maybe he could be here for QB3 next year from some form or fashion.
Now, refresh my memory. Why is he your buddy?
He's a guy I've wanted on the Jets for a long time. This is the guy out of the University of Tennessee that majored in aerospace automation or something.
Automatic.
And had a 4.0 grade point average and won awards for his academic and community achievement, in addition to being a good football player. That was a 3rd-round pick. So I've been saying I want him on the team to be in the room with his big brain. Maybe he wins you 1 or 2 games with his brain. You know what I mean? And now the Tennessee Titans picked him up 8 days ago, and now he's starting against the Cowboys and doing.
So where did they pick him up from? Did you say? He
was I think on the Browns. He was bouncing around on practice squads and QB3, and the Titans picked him up 8 days ago, and all of a sudden he's starting.
Amazing. So we'll get to see your boy and see if you've been a crazy man yelling about somebody who sucks, or if you were wise beyond your station in this gig, and maybe, just maybe, we should have grabbed him. Now, as far as this game, this is the Titans versus the who is this? The Cardinals?
The Cowboys. Now they're wearing their all-white uniforms. These are new uniforms and new helmets, which look spiffy.
I like it too. I like it. I think that's good. Dude, it's the white helmet, Frankie. I keep telling everybody.
You need a white helmet.
Nobody believes us, Frankie. Nobody
believes us. We can't have a
us.
green helmet. The green helmet is a problem.
Well, it is I mean, dude, it just makes sense. I mean, is it the biggest problem in the world? Maybe not. But it's green helmet on green grass, dude. Right. It can't help. You know what I mean? It can't help. And Weeb Eubank, just so we're clear here, Weeb Eubank said the white helmets stand out on the green field and make it incredibly easy for the quarterback to identify his receivers. So there's Weeb. He's known as the greatest Jets coach of all time. He's he's our Hall of Honor, whatever fuck it is. Then we go green after 80 something. I forget which year. We go with the green helmets, and we've been green for X amount of years. Then in 1997, Parcells, or 98 actually, Parcells decides to go back to the white helmets. Bill Parcells, another pretty good coach in the NFL annals. And you know what he said? The white helmets are easier for the quarterback to see. So you get Weeb Eubank and Bill Parcells saying, dude, this is advantageous. Why not do it? And then we get, all these other, we get Christopher Johnson and then Adam Gase. They go, nah, let's go green. Let's go with the green helmets. And on top of that, not only not green isn't good, and let's go black so nobody can see it. Let's go completely shadow-like. Is it any wonder we keep losing with these damn
Crazy.
Yeah. So I mean, look, again, it's probably a 5% thing, if whatever, but it's if it can help.
If it gets you one completion extra,
That's right.
do it. Who cares?
Frankie, what are the statistics? What are the if you get one more completion a week?
Yeah.
There's 16, 17 weeks.
That could be a third down conversion. It could be a key play. It could be. And not only that, running backs have to read helmets too. Running backs do a lot of helmet reading. For example, should I go left or right? They're reading helmets.
That's right.
Why not have a greater contrast out there?
See, I agree, man. I think it's just silly. Like, why not do it? And then, so look, when we had the opportunity, all right, so we picked the green helmet, great. All right, we did it. Gotham green. I happen to like the Gotham green. I think as far as greens go, I like it. I think it's a good green. I do. It's better than Kelly green. I didn't like Kelly green all that much. Hunter green, I think I was good with. Kelly green, not so much. But when we had the opportunity to pick the alternate helmet, I thought,
Yeah.
what an opportunity to bring back a little white helmet action. Nope, black. And I think it looks cool. Don't get me wrong, but it's JMG. By the way, BYU's helmets are white. Maybe that's Zach's whole problem. He's like, I can't see shit. Everybody looks the same. All I see is grass, dude.
Yeah. Why not? Let's help him out.
Oh, that's crazy. What are you saying? Wake up. I'm piped up. What are you talking about? Wake up what? What do you want me to wake up for? Green helmets? Get out of here. I saw this one. Jets 830 says it's his birthday on Sunday. So hang out with us 830. We'll sing a little song. And we'll celebrate your birthday. Let us know how old you are and all that. But if we don't get to talk to you, happy birthday, young sprite. I think I'm going to predict Jets 830 is 27 years old. What do you think, Frankie? Or 83 for 830? What are the other? What do you think?
I think 24.
24. Okay. I like it. So B Trav with the white helmets. He likes it. Slaugo says all whites are the schnicknaggles. I'm with that. Snowball, let's make the turf white. There's a solution.
Yeah.
There's a solution, Frankie. Now, Frankie, I forgot to ask you. I had to do the mic thing. Am I okay? Do I sound like I'm on a mic?
No, it sounds good to me.
Okay. All right, good. All right. So all right, let's talk about this. We have I wanted to bring up the injury report for you, Frankie. The Seattle Seahawks injury report. There's some pretty big names on that. Now, I don't know if you have checked it out, but I'm going to go ahead and show you here. And let's take a little look at this because it's worth discussing to see exactly what we're looking at here. So, all right, guys, here it is. Here's Seattle Seahawks injury report for this was actually yesterday, so maybe I can get a better one. Let me let's just go with this. I probably didn't change for today. All right. So these are the guys that we're looking at that these are the guys that did not participate in practice at all, Frankie. We got wide receiver Marquise Goodwin, Travis Homer, the running back, but wide receiver Tyler Lockett. We had the finger surgery, Frankie, and Noah Fant, the tight end that they got in the trade with Russell Wilson and all that. You got a tackle, Abraham Lucas. You got running back Kenneth Walker, a candidate for Offensive Rookie of the Year. Safety Ryan Neal, and our good friend back from the old Hard Knocks days, Nick Bellore, a former Jets linebacker. He's just sick. And then you got guys limited in practice. Bruce Irvin is somebody of note. So what do you think of this? Like, number one, do you foresee guys like Tyler Lockett? They're saying Tyler Lockett's about 50-50. He legitimately might not be able to play because of this finger surgery. Now, I don't think that's real. I think we're going to see Tyler Lockett. But anybody on here you think is more likely, less likely to play? How do you think they're going to impact the game? What do you see coming from this injury report, Frankie?
Well, one thing to look at is the trend. If you look at the Thursday, so you have the Wednesday up there. So Marquise Goodwin didn't practice again today. So that's trending that he's not going to play. Same thing with Travis Homer. Same thing with Ryan Neal, the safety, and Al Woods turned up on the injury report today. Also, that would be a major loss. Al Woods, the nose tackle, he went from full participant to did not practice with an Achilles.
All
With
right,
an
then I gotta do
Achilles.
this. Hold on, this is bullshit now. Okay,
Yeah,
I gotta get. All right, Seahawks.
it's on the Jets also. But Kenneth Walker is trending toward playing because he went from DNP to LP. So K9, as they call him, probably playing. Abraham Lucas has no status for today. I'm not sure what that means. So I guess he's playing. He went from DNP to no status. I'm not sure what that means. That's unusual.
Yeah, so this is okay. This is big. Now, look, if you check this out, Frankie, I'm going to read you. If Marquise Goodwin and Tyler Lockett do not play, they're bringing up names Penny Hart and Derek Young. I'm not familiar with either one of those guys. Any thoughts on those guys? I mean, clearly it's a downgrade.
I mean, the thing about it is the interesting part. They're probably not going to try and test us on the outside too much anyway, regardless of who the wide receivers are. In this game, if they're smart, they're going to have a game plan that utilizes their tight ends and running backs. That's where we're the weakest. And so the outside's where we're the strongest with Sauce and DJ. So probably if you have DK Metcalf in fantasy, it might not be a good matchup for DK. But just because I don't think they're going to really try downfield passes that much. They're going to try to live in the middle of the field. I think they're going to do a lot of dump offs and a lot of tight end, things. Their other tight end, Will Dissly, is out. So Will Dissly's a really good tight end in addition to Noah Fant, who is George Fant's brother, by the way. It's the Fant Bowl.
Yeah. Look at that. We go and take one, and then they got the other. So we got Fant and Fant all over the place. I like it.
So, yeah. So I don't know that, Marquise Goodwin missing the game is, or even Tyler Lockett, as good as he is. I mean, Lockett's really, really good. And so, there'd be a downgrade in talent from Lockett just because of how good he is. But I think they're going to try to attack, if they're smart in their game plan, they're going to try to attack us in the middle of the field with their tight ends and running backs. That's where we're the weakest. And so that's what I would say. So like if Kenneth Walker couldn't play, that'd be big.
That's huge.
But he's trending in the right direction because he's also really, really good. K9, they call him because his number is 9. So that would be the biggest one on here. In addition to Al Woods, so Al Woods went from full to DNP with an Achilles. So I'm not sure what happened, but that seems like maybe he's going to be out if it's his Achilles.
Yeah, that's really interesting. That's a great point. Frankie's talking about this here, how he started. He had a full practice, and then it did not practice. So that's interesting. What happened there? Now maybe he did not practice because he got the sniffles. We don't know. Yeah, but it could be, that would be a big hit. Now, look, again, I say this all the time. I'm never rooting for guys not to play. I really am. If I had my druthers, right, I would always want to see all the teams at 100%. I want to see the best guys play. That's most fun. That's what I want to see. That said, with all this on the line, if guys like Tyler Lockett, Noah Fant, and Kenneth Walker don't play and add to that maybe a Bruce Irvin or an Al Woods, and even if they're limited and have less impact than it normally would, that's going to be helpful toward our goal. And it's really worth taking a look at, keeping an eye on. Friday's going to be big, obviously. And the fact that it's a 4:00 game, everybody, they say sometimes, well, gives them a few more hours. Maybe we feel better about it. Not real, but they do say that. But I think Seattle's going to try to keep a wrap on which guys are playing and are not playing and keep them on the injury report. But it would be interesting. Now, if Noah Fant doesn't play, Frankie, here, let me see here. What the hell did I do? Where did it go? So Noah Fant, their backup is Kobe Parkinson. What do you...
who knows? I mean, basically, their two main guys are Dissly and Fant, and those are good tight ends. I mean, I don't know. Kobe Party's their third tight end. How good can he be? Maybe he's really good. Then again, look what happened to us in Detroit. That tight end who caught the pass that killed us. Who the hell was that? Does anybody know who that is? I don't know who it is. Some guy.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean,
you got to execute the game plan no matter who's playing. I mean, you can't have a guy leak out because he's a tight end in the NFL. He can leak out and catch the ball and run. I don't even know who it is, but it doesn't matter because they fooled us. They got us, and they executed.
Yeah. Well, it would really, I mean, look, the fact that he's third, maybe he just sucks and can't catch. That'd be nice. He pops out and just drops it. That'd be really fun to watch.
Maybe. Who knows?
Yeah,
But,
that'd be good.
You never know. But, the important thing I think is the thing to say here is they're in worse shape health-wise than we are. We're in decent shape compared to them. So that's just another reason why, we can't, we got to win this freaking game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we got Mimsy coming back, by the way. Mims was full participant today, so that's great news. He's cleared his protocol. The one guy to worry about is Joyner, Lamarcus Joyner, still limited today. So that's still a question mark. And Eccles and Smith are going to be out.
Yeah.
So the only one really who's a question mark on ours is Joyner.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you can see this, guys. So, look, I could have just did it all right here. Like, I think that's what you were saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. Yeah.
Yeah. So, as you can see, guys, Brandon Eccles did not practice, probably not playing. Now, aren't you glad we didn't trade Bryce Hall for a fifth? You know what I mean?
This is exactly what we said. We said there's going to be an injury and Bryce Hall's going to need to come in. I mean, we had we signed Malik Taylor to the practice squad today. I think
saw that.
Yeah. And that's because we're probably going to have to elevate someone, in Jeff Smith's position, maybe. It's what they're thinking. So we need a little protection there. We do have two other, we have Irvin Charles and Deontay Johnson on the P squad. Yeah. It'd be nice to see Irvin Charles do something.
Yeah, he sucked really bad in the preseason. I'm a little nervous with him. I'd rather just see them.
But they kept him. They kept him over Black and other guys.
They did. I mean, I'm all for that. I mean, look, when you have a guy, Tariq Black was here for a little bit, right? He got to play last year. They saw him. He's kind of that low-level guy, right? If you know what his ceiling is, and you got another guy, they're looking like they're on a similar, level at this moment, but the one guy what his ceiling is, the other one you don't, you keep the guy you don't, And I think that's what Irv Charles has a lot of potential. There were quite a few people pre-draft that really liked Irv Charles. I got into conversations in my chat. One conversation in particular saying Irv Charles is the gem of our entire draft class. Okay. You know what I mean? All right. Hey, I'm in. We already have our answer at wide receiver. So, and look, you never know. I mean, look, Bryce Huff came in from the undrafted free agent, obviously Bam Knight. And so many others, have come from the undrafted free agent class. So it's possible. Of course, I never dismiss guys just because they were undrafted free agents. At the same time, we got to see him. He really looked bad in preseason, man. He had a couple bad drops, missed a few blocks. Like he did everything wrong, but you know what, Frankie, rather than bring up another wide receiver, wouldn't it be a little bit better of an idea to have Streveler to suit and dress three quarterbacks as opposed to being stuck with Joe Flacco in the event Mike White gets injured, which, hey, let's be real. He's been injured before a bunch of times.
That's true. And you could do both. So I think that they will if they have a package for Streveler, then he'll be active and he'll come up and he'll be there. But another thing to think about, Deontay Johnson is also a punt returner, kick returner. They could throw a total curveball and say, you know what, Braxton Berrios, not good enough. He's been disappointing. Let's bring Deontay up and let him do. He's done that in the NFL before and been pretty, done a pretty good job. They might say, hey, let's give Deontay a shot. Maybe his legs are, fresh, that sort of thing at the end of the season. Maybe Braxton's worn down, type of deal. That could be a surprise curveball they throw too.
Yeah.
It's not Irv Charles. It's in fact Deontay Johnson or Deontay Spencer. Right?
Yeah. Well, that's interesting too. I mean, but you're right. I mean, I don't think that's likely, but it could. It's possible.
Could be.
It's possible. Let me take a second and acknowledge my newest stream beaner, Jason Rice. Thank you for joining the membership. The rest of the emojis, I have all kinds of really great emojis being designed by a young lady on Fiverr. She's almost done. They were supposed to be here today. She said, I need another day or two. I said, okay. So we're going to be adding a whole bunch of new fun emojis. I even think, Frankie, I got the Facebook thumb. I got one that looks like this instead.
Oh,
Facebook
boy.
finger,
That's
got a whole bunch.
It's going to be overutilized.
It might be utilized a little bit. We might see a lot of that out of the gate, but thank you, Jason Rice. I do appreciate it. And look, guys, it's going to be fun. Again, the reason I made that one, in addition to the beanbaggers, I put a lot of effort in. We spend a lot of time together, and I love that. But people were saying to me, hey, wouldn't it be cool just to have something where they, something that impacts the live stream, directly? And I've been asked quite a few times. So I had a poll a few months back about some names. You guys picked StreamBean, StreamBeaners. So that's what it'll be. It's one tier, $4.99. And again, guys, on the the bottom of it all, the foundation of it really does help the channel. So I'm greatly appreciative of all those considerations when you guys support guys like us up here. It helps, man. You'd be surprised how much it helps when you are broke like me. So you have $3, buddy. They say a penny saved is a penny earned. I've been picking up every time I pick up a penny. I say that, Frankie. Penny saved is a penny earned.
Absolutely.
You know what they call me? I'm that term. You ever heard this term? Penny wise, dollar foolish. You ever heard that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's me. How you doing?
You're not going to get that cup of coffee, but you'll spend $2,000 on a guitar you don't need.
Dude, that's exactly it. I'm like, you do realize you bought the expensive paper towels. They were $1.50. You got the expensive. And then she's like, what's this $2,400? I'm like, oh, I needed a new camera. You know what I mean? Like, that's what happens all the time. So that's exactly right. Mindy Adams, she says, Beam, we need to honor Klecko with some throwback helmets. Yeah. And hey, dude, I'm all about that.
Yeah.
It. Yeah. I love me some Klecko. Now, Frankie, a little bit of a switch gear here, just very quickly, inspired by Mindy. You do have to remember here, this might be a huge year in this offseason. It's January when we find out which one of the senior candidates, there are 3. One of them, Joe Klecko, this is his second year in a row being in the top 3. Last year, he was in the top 2. So we might be finding out in short order that Joe Klecko is, in fact, making it to the Hall of Fame. So well-deserved. One of the best players in NFL history, completely ignored. If he was on the Steelers or something like that, exact same stats on the Steelers, he would have been a shoo-in. First ballot. Oh, yeah. Another one is that Darrelle Revis this is his first year to be in the, to be inducted. And a lot of people think that he is, in fact, going to be what we call a first ballot Hall of Famer. So wouldn't that be nice? Like Joe Klecko said to Woody Johnson at the facility, the facility last year. Can you imagine if I make it in and Revis makes it in? New York will own the Hall of Fame. And I think that's exactly how we should look at it. If they both get in, I'm going, Frankie. I'm going. You going?
Yeah, let's go. And you know what else we could do is, there's the Houston Texans are reaching out to their fans currently. You can vote on their website for new uniforms. And why don't the Jets do something similar as well? Because this would be the year. Klecko, Revis, maybe we could get a couple of wins to end out the season here and maybe squeeze into the playoffs. And then we also get nice new unis and new helmet colors and a real logo that's Jetish instead of a stupid oval and all of that. We could do so much. And I think Salo wants to change the uniforms. He has not gone with the green very much. There's not much you can do with the helmets, but we go white, we go black, we go white on black. I don't know, but the Houston Texans are going through a process. And the reason I mention it, we would have to go through a process to do it also. And I'm not seeing us go through the process. Yeah, there's the helmet right there. I mean, it's so
this
simple.
Is the one, Frankie.
Yeah, that's the one. How
this
awesome
is for me. This is the one. I've seen some really great ideas. It's some really like a more entailed art, like some jets, and I've seen some good ones. I've seen one with the city skyline on it that looked pretty nice. To me, this is it. Yeah. This is the one. White helmet again, because maybe our quarterback can actually see a damn player on the green field. but then it gives there's a large outcry. You know this in our fan base to return and reutilize that 80s 90s logo.
Yeah.
And I think that would be a good idea. It's a great logo. I mean, you can't
This
do
is the
much with
time.
the freaking word
This
Jets.
is the time. When is there going to be a better time than Darrell Revis, Joe Klecko, all gas, no break? Maybe we could win a couple of games and sneak into the playoffs. And then we have the Hall of Fame game. Aren't we playing in the Hall of Fame game also next year or something?
I think we are. I did hear that.
mean,
You're right. I can't. I'm not going to say definitely.
This is the time right now. Got to do it.
Let's see. Hall of Fame game 2023. Who is it? The overview. Who is it? Let me see. The Las Vegas Raiders. Wait, 2022 was the Raiders Jaguars. Come on. It said 23. Telling me 2000.
May not have been announced yet. I think it has something to do with.
I thought it was, though. I heard that. I actually did hear that. So, guys, this is the helmet I like, and we'll see how it goes. But let's get to Tony Alexio's super chat here, Frankie. Thank you, Tony, for the super chat and the support. Tony, if I'm without even reading the chat, I did not read it yet. Tony is a Streveler guy. He doesn't say anything without mentioning Streveler. So let's see how we go. Last week, our best rusher playing part-time was Streveler. Didn't take long. We want the Streveler package. Our best fullback that you can throw good meatballs also. Yeah, he does throw meatballs. I like this Tony. I like this Tony guy, Frankie. But, look, and this is kind of what I was alluding to earlier. I mean, I am under no illusions that Streveler's the answer at quarterback, right? I know there was some talk led by Tony, actually, that Streveler's the man, right? He's the guy. He'll take us to the promised land. And we know he won the Grey Cup up there in Canada. So he's got a background. He's had some success, looked really good in the preseason, but we finally got to see him in a game. And while we did not get any points, the truth is that he was, and this is, when we talk about Mike White potentially being a shot in the arm, even Streveler, really our fourth string quarterback, practice squad guy, came in and gave this team a serious shot, a burst. And we saw the offense begin to move the ball in a way that we weren't seeing with Zach on the field. It just is what it is. You remember, we watched that game together. Yeah. So the idea of keeping Streveler active, and, if it's 3 plays, 5 plays, so being able to use that skill set, have an RPO on a 3rd and 1, or, whatever it might be. I think it is it's a good move. And then again, in an emergency situation, maybe you go to, let's say Mike White gets hurt, God forbid, in the first quarter, and you go to Flacco and he looks like complete asshats, and he's just completely inept. It would be nice to have that ability to just turn to Streveler and go, all right, bro, wild card, just let's roll the dice and go get it done. Let's see what happens.
If you think about it, it makes more sense now, because in that scenario, let's say we were winning the game. If we were winning the game and that were the case, and you could even say, what if White and Flacco get hurt? You would want someone to just hand the ball off, and you know what I mean? And just call the plays and hand the ball off and run as needed, and maybe not throw as much, but you would need somebody to just manage the game and hopefully just limp to the finish line and get us there. So I think it kind of makes sense these days to have a package for him, and then just in case, with the fact that White and Flacco are the people. The Flacco part of it is,
I know, because he's still Joe Flacco, right? He's still a 6'5" NFL quarterback, been through. Think about Matt Ryan.
Look at Matt Ryan. What the hell happened to Matt Ryan? He fell off a cliff. Last year he looked fine against us. Remember that in London?
I do.
He looked fine. He killed us.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, Matt Ryan's still got something left. And then
Matt Ryan's fine.
Matt Ryan, he's fine. He'll go to the Colts. He'll be fine. This is perfect marriage made in heaven. No, it was a marriage made in hell, and it got Frank Reich fired. And same thing it seems like with Flacco. It seems like Flacco just this is the end. Sorry, you got to go into coaching or retirement or whatever you're going to do next, because it's over. I mean, sometimes these guys, they just fall off a cliff. Tom Brady, that doesn't happen to, because, we all know why.
Well, he's not looking like the old Tom Brady either. I wouldn't call
still,
it cliff.
you know, he
It's not
didn't
a
fall off
cliff.
a cliff. Yeah.
He's just slow. He's just kind of rolling to a stop. There's a red light a half mile up ahead. He's just,
But he's also 45. These guys are like 37. That's the
I know.
difference.
It really is crazy, dude. It's like when we talk about, like Derek Carr, and people are like, dude, he's 31 years old. I'm like, dude, he could play 16 more years in the league. Like, that's what it's like now. I mean, how old is Aaron Rodgers? Do you know off
30, he's
the
going on 39. Rodgers I have his stats right here. This is his age 39 year. He's 39 right now, according to this.
Incredible,
and he's
dude.
playing at a high level still. I mean, he's not as good as he has been recently, but still putting up an excellent year.
Yeah, I agree. I want to acknowledge Harry W., one of my truest supporters, Harry. I couldn't love you more. I got to spend some time on opening day with my friend Harry, and he's a beanbagger. He's a stream beaner. Harry, I'm telling you, you have earned one night at Casa GreenBean. You can come over and stay here if you'd like.
Also a member of Frankie's Army.
Look at this guy.
Harry's all over the place.
Harry's
Good
the
for
best.
Harry.
Harry, sincerely, thank you. I appreciate it, man. And then we have Clifford Canty becoming a stream beaner. Thank you for joining up, Clifford. I hope that it provides you with joy. That's what I sincerely hope. And thank you all for joining up. You see, the tracks have been greased, guys. Come on in. Let's go. Everybody become a stream beaner. And we're even going to do, I do have plans to do, like if it picks up, whatever, I'm gonna do like at least one private mock. Like we like to do private mocks with the beanbaggers. We might do one with the stream bean. I think we will actually. Might is a word I will take from that sentence. We will do one private with the stream beaners as well. So there is another super chat here. There it is. Let's get to Kyle Ornsby. Thank you, Kyle. How you doing, buddy? Haven't caught the show live in a while. What are the actual chances the O-line holds up for the next 2 games and possibly more? This is a great question, and it's one of the questions that I wanted to throw at you, Frankie. And let me paint the picture here. And we heard Saleh talk about in some detail, which was really great to hear, that about the, what the defenses have been doing, how they've been playing us. Now, we talked about this ad nauseum during the Jaguars game, and it's been happening that way for a while now. The defenses are bringing everybody up. Sometimes you're even seeing 9 guys in the box, which is incredible, guys. 9 guys up. So essentially what they're saying is we are going to put all of our resources into removing the potential of you having any success with your run game. And then what that also does is it clogs the lanes for things like screens and short ends with the tight ends and those. It muddies up that area, but also what it does, and this doesn't get talked about enough, is it creates a scenario that your offensive line has 8-9 guys in their face the whole time. They really do. They don't always know who's rushing. Are people going to blitz? Are they pulling people back? Because the look is the same all the time, and it's confusing. And that, to me, it adds to some of the difficulties our offensive line is having. Now, I'm not going to be the one to say our offensive line is great, but the offensive line on many occasions gives us enough. Okay, they give us enough. Now, they're not good enough to overcome that 8-9 in the box to have a successful running game. They're just not that good. But they are giving, the last couple of games, they're giving Zach 2.53 seconds. He's got time, and there are receivers open. He's not pulling the trigger, or he's missing. So me personally, I do think that Mike White coming in, being able to hit some of those, is going to cause the defensive line, the defense to move back a little bit, create some space. And I think that the offensive line will be able to hold up better than they have the last few weeks. Of course, playing Buffalo is a whole different thing, but this isn't Buffalo. So I think they're going to be able to do that. Now, Frankie, with everything I said, take it, don't take it, but what is your view on this question? Do you think the offensive line, now that Mike White is back, is going to be able to perform, more effectively, both the running game and the passing game this week against the Seahawks?
Yeah, absolutely. He gets the ball out. Yeah, it goes back to the old quote that we got on Greg Van Roten last year. Remember, in the beginning of the year, Greg Van Roten came out in the press and said, "Look, the ball has to come out." And we said, "Yeah, that's true, but you don't say it to our press, about our young quarterback.
Shut
You
up,
don't
GVR.
shut your mouth.
Shut up.
You say that it's the offensive line's job to block for as long as it takes, and that's what you say to the press. But nonetheless, the sentiment was true. The ball has to come out, and the guy who's been the best at getting the ball out of everyone has been Mike White." And getting it accurately and getting completions and so forth. So, yeah, you got to throw them out of that. And you do that with completions, with completion percentage. That's one of the reasons that I focused on completion percentage. If you remember, I said one number to rule them all in terms of evaluating Zach, and it was completion percentage because of this very reason. You have to complete passes. You have to matriculate down the field, and that gets them out of all of that crap. You have to make them pay for it. They want to do an amoeba front. They want to double mug the A-gap. Fine, you got to make them pay. You got to make them pay, and then they'll think twice about doing it. If you don't make them pay, they're going to keep doing it. Like that's just good defensive coordination, good defensive coordinatoring, because they're going to keep doing it unless and until you show you can beat it, right? They're just going to keep doing it. So you got to make them pay when they do that. They want to blitz, you throw at the blitzer. If they want to blitz, you throw to your hot route. It may only get 2-3 yards, may only get 4 yards. That's okay. We got to get them out of blitzing, and we got to get them out of these amoeba crazy fronts and all of that. And you do that by being smart and hitting your guys quickly. And the best chance we got of that is Mike White. So we got the best guy on our current roster to do that playing. So hopefully he can do that. And then the O-line, will perform better. It's hard to hold up for 4 or 5 seconds. I mean, for any offensive line.
Right. And then on top of that, having no run game. So,
yeah.
I mean, dude, when you're one dimensional like that, it's so much easier for the defense guys. I mean, they're licking their chops. They're having a stat compiling day. Like that's what they're doing. That's the kind of game that they're having. And it's, enough. So I think we've seen it with Mike White. The offensive line is able to be more successful. Are they great? No. But this offensive line isn't the offensive line of 2019, guys. It's not. It's not even the offensive line of 2020 or 2021. They are better than that. Again, we need to improve it. We have lots of upgrading to do. But I think I really look forward to a better game, Kyle. I really do. Now, Thomas Cahill wants to know about LDT, Frankie. Now, real quick, I want to show you, though, LDT has been impacting the Jets, Frankie. I'm not sure if you were aware of this, but he's the guy that cleared Mike White. As we know,
he was one of the 10 doctors that he went to.
That's right. Mike White, the team doctor said, "I don't know, man. I can't clear you." He said, "LDT, come here." He went right and found him. LDT's like, "He's good. He's fine." So Mike White is cleared for Sunday. Signed Dr. Laurent Duvernay Tardif. So, but Thomas says, can LDT play yet or what? Now, this is an interesting thing. Herbig has been having a very, very good season, guys. Now, I mean, very good AVT level, no. But he's especially coming off the bench and being able to allow us to do some other things at the tackle position. Nate Herbig has been playing well. Now, the last 2 weeks, but particularly last week, he had a very, very rough time. Now, I don't know if that means like, hey, I'm really just a backup and I shouldn't be in here for 14 games. That I don't know. Maybe he is a 3, 4, 5 game a season guy and he plays at a high level. Or maybe, hey, man, he's just having a bad week. Who knows? I don't know. But it is interesting when we brought in LDT. We already know LDT is a pretty damn good guard. Now, he wasn't world beating either. I want to make sure everybody knows that. It's not like he's so good and having him on the bench is clearly a big mistake, but it does open the door, Frankie. So if Herbig is struggling, do you see them maybe pulling him and putting LDT in? We did see them pull Max Mitchell for George Fant. We've seen some of this this season. So do you think there's any potential if Herbig is struggling and we can't get the run game going? We can't stop pressure coming from the inside on the right side of the line. Do you think that they would make the move and put LDT in? And if they do you think it's going to be an upgrade? He hasn't played all year.
Yeah, I mean, so if LDT would be an upgrade, he'd go in there. I think what we've seen from this coaching staff, they put anybody who's they think is the best out there. They're not going to be beholden just because we picked Zach with the second overall pick. They benched him. I think they've seen whoever in their opinion is best to go out there will go out there. We've seen it multiple times. So if they feel like LDT is in a better position than Herbie, they'll pull him. But keep in mind, LDT got exactly 0 offers in the offseason. So let's just keep that in mind before we think LDT is some amazing player. He didn't get any offers from anyone.
Do
in
we
the
know
entire
that, though?
league?
Or do we
Yeah,
know
he
that?
didn't have any because he wanted to play. And he called the Jets up and said, "Hey, I'm really interested in, and they said, all right, we got a need now. ABT's injured. Everybody injured. Come on down." But he didn't get any offers. So, I mean, it's hard for me to, but the thing is, if the coaching staff feels like it'd be an upgrade, they'll put him in. They're not going to, they have no reason to not. So yeah, they'll put him in if he's better for, if Herbie's having problems.
That's interesting. Like, again, we had LDT last year, and we have to remember, like, relative terms, right? Like, we loved LDT.
Yeah,
Why?
relative to GVR.
Exactly my point. So when you looked at how incredibly bad Greg Van Roten was playing most of the time, when LDT came in, it was like a breath of fresh air. No matter what warts he had on him, we didn't care. It was like clearly an upgrade, right?
Right.
That doesn't mean that he's definitely going to do better than Herbig. And again, I think if Herbig has a third week of struggling, I think that they might consider this. And then there's still Dan Feeney, who I'm not a big fan of at guard. I like him better at center. But I don't know if they want to shuffle it up. But if Herbig's having a bad game, this might be the week that we see LDT. Who knows? At least he's there. It's nice to know he's there, and we're not going to fall to some rookie or some
Mike
practice
Remmers.
squad type of a guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like Remmers.
All right. So I'm putting a poll in the chats for you guys, right? I just want to talk a little bit about Quinnen Williams, and I'd like to flip this to the defense here, Frankie. Let me get this little thing off here. Ha ha ha, LDT. Okay, we got the laugh. Now, the defense, a lot of people were saying things like this, Frankie. The defense was exposed last week. We are overrated. They're not as good as they have been, as the billing and all. A lot of it's like it was weird. It like kind of just turned. We became we're cannibalizing ourselves. We got really mad because the defense couldn't get off the field. Now, with that said, the defense only gave up 19 points with no help from the offense, like almost zero assistance from the offense.
I mean, Doug Peterson had a great game too. There's another Doug Peterson called a great game. It's going to happen. And we held him to 19 points, even with Doug Peterson calling a great game.
Well, and that's the point. So my question for you is, do you think our defense is, overrated? Do you think that they can kind of take care of business and do a good job against the type of offense that Seattle's bringing? I mean, even if Lockett, it doesn't play or he's 50%, yet, dude, you still got DK Metcalf out there. He's an absolute stud. He's real good at getting people to pass interference him too. He's got all kinds of fun skills. But do you think that this defense is going to be able to limit the potency of the Seattle Seahawks offense? I mean, they've been dipping a little bit, but they still got a lot of potential there to kind of carve you up. What do you think about our defense coming off, the last 2 weeks when they gave up the big play against the Lions, and then in the Jaguars game, they looked, they struggled to get off the field. So what do you see? Number one, do you think they're overrated? But number two, how do you think they're going to fare against the Seahawks?
I think they'll do all right. They might be a little overrated. I mean, it depends what you mean by overrated, but the fact of the matter is Quinnen was coming off his calf, and he may have been, on a pitch count and all that kind of thing. And he's a key person for us, and he'll be back to full strength. You notice he's not on the injury report this week. So that's a big deal. And we're not a perfect defense. We still need a weak side linebacker. We still need a free safety who can really play and really run and really hit. So we're not a perfect defense. But I think we're a top 10 defense. I think that's fair to say. And last year we were the worst defense in the league. So it's a hell of an improvement. And then we're going to reload again, obviously, this year. So, but I think we'll be able to play well. I don't see any reason why not. One thing we know for sure, our corners are tough. Our D line is pretty good. Usually when Quinnen's in there, I mean, he's got to be in there and he's got to be effective. He's key player for us.
Yeah, for sure.
So
now, I just real quick, we have an update from WA2K. Dobbs fumbled a little while ago.
Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, he's not going to be, QB1 in the universe. I mean, I just want him. I just want him here for QB3. And I think you've seen in this game, he can do some things. He had a nice bomb he threw. He can run a bit. He can just do enough to be QB3. And plus he's super smart. That's the thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I just wanted to tell you. I mean, I'm with you. I mean, you can't that's playing. And then that's what our expectations with guys all over the place. Like you put a guy in, you're like, he struggles a little bit. You're like, hey, he sucks. Well, how about
he literally went to their team 8 days ago.
Well, Baker Mayfield, 2 days. Right. And he's a
Baker Mayfield did it. Yeah. Why can't he do it?
Why can't he do it, Frankie?
I don't know.
Well,
Dak Prescott fumbled, so get rid of him.
He sucks.
Get rid of Dak Prescott.
Can I tell you a secret, though? I'll tell you a secret. I don't love Dak Prescott. He's fine. He's good. But I never really loved him. I just think he's kind of a little bit of fool's gold, Frankie. That's my thoughts.
I think he's pretty doggone good.
Yeah,
we'd be lucky to have him. Tell you that.
Well, hello. That's like the whole conversation. I had it all morning. There's just an increasing lot of Jets fans that just the Derek Carr hate. I had a guy telling me all of Derek Carr's yards are in garbage time. I was like, where the fuck did you pull that? 4,800 yards of garbage? I'll take that too. You know what I mean? Like, what is this madness? Exactly. So I don't love Dak Prescott. I don't really love him in the conversation with the really great,
he's not elite. No, he's not elite.
Yeah. And that's my whole thing. And anyway, and I don't have any darts to throw, and he looks good tonight from what I haven't watched the game intently, but what I see, he looks pretty sharp, except for that fumble, of course. But yeah, so as far as, let's talk about a little bit of this. Now, we've been talking all day, last couple of days. Now, I'm really excited about this game. I really am. But we're going to get into some stuff that maybe does, some considerations for where we're going to go. Now, Frankie, we're going to have to look at the quarterback position. It is my opinion that Zach Wilson is not going to play very often in the near future. That's my thoughts. I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but there's a couple scenarios that have to, be considered. Number one, you could cut him and just eat it, right? You could. That's, I think, stupid, in my opinion, to do that. It's more to not have him. You might as well have him as quarterback 3 and try to develop him, in my opinion. But there is some potential for trade, right? I don't know who's going to be interested in him. But then there is also the idea that, hey, he takes the summer off and then next year, put him in the competition again. If he plays well, he plays well. I don't know how much the Jets are willing to do that. But the other side of that is Mike White, Frankie. Now, Mike White, as far as what he's done on the field, he's clearly effective, right? The team clearly loves him. So those things are intact. They're motivated with him. There's chemistry brewing, and that's only in the handful of games that they've played. If the guy plays more games, there's a lot of potential there. But what would Mike White have to do in your eyes from this point forward for the Jets to go into the offseason thinking, we have our quarterback, we're going to bring in a very competent backup, a Brissett, somebody like that? What do you think he's got to do to actually get the Jets in a position where they feel like he's the guy moving forward, and we don't have to trade for Derek Carr or Aaron Rodgers or Tom fucking Brady? I can't stand it that we're talking about that. But any of these guys, what does he have to do, Frankie, to keep Tom Brady off of our doorstep?
He's got a problem. He's got a problem, and it's called durability. So he's been able to show that he's at least a backup, and that's what I see him as. And you can get him for backup money. I mean, Spotrac has him getting a 2-year deal for $10 million. That's $5 a year. It's plenty affordable. So why wouldn't you, if that's accurate, and they're usually pretty close, why wouldn't you just grab him up for that? You get him on the roster, and then you pursue someone else, whether it be Derek Carr if he's available, or or a Brissett or a Minshew or a second tier kind of guy. Maybe that's a third tier, and just have all three come in and compete. That was the focus of one of my videos. I think Zach's staying here. I really do, and I think the best value for him and for us is for him to stay here in case he figures it out. The guy has tons of potential. He just does. He has talent. If he can figure it out and get his head screwed on straight, and then get his mechanics in line, he can be good. I think Zach Wilson. So why not? But if all he is a third string, the best scout team quarterback in the league, so what? That's a value too. And so, my thought is get White in here and get someone else. It's sort of and answer. Get White, get somebody else, even if it is Derek Carr. You bring in Derek Carr, obviously it's not a competition, but you still have a quality backup in White in case of injury, even though Carr has been very durable his whole career.
Yeah. He's never missed more than one game, Frankie.
Yeah, due to injury. I mean, these two he's going to miss is like the most he's ever missed, and it's not due to injury. So, so I think you just get White in here no matter what. You can get him affordably because I don't see the market going crazy for Mike White. He has not been durable. There hasn't been enough evidence that he can be that $25-30 million quarterback. A lot of teams probably value him as a backup, 5, 6, that range and so if that's the case, just grab him, get him. Okay, now we got him, and then you see what else you can get. Maybe it's a Carr, maybe it's a Brissett, maybe it's a Minshew, whatever it may be. And then if it's in the Brissett Minshew category, then you have all three come in, compete, see who does the best, and take it from there. So that's the way I see that. I really, I don't see us. I mean, we could trade Zach, but then and we could save some money, I think, if I'm reading over the cap correctly. But then it's like, who's going to trade for him, and what are they going to give us?
Yeah,
to save a few million and get a 6th-round pick or something is I'd rather keep him on the team, and maybe he figures it out. And what if he figures it out in year 4, and he has a year 4 and he becomes a good quarterback year 4? I mean, look at Geno Smith, for God's sake.
Right. I know. And I tend to subscribe to what you're saying. Now, in the unlikely event, let's say hypothetically, Frankie, you call Josh McDaniels and you say, hey, look, you don't want Derek Carr. It's expensive. He's $33 million. You're a quarterback guru. You're clearly one of the greatest offensive minds in the NFL right now. Everybody loves you. How about you take Rob Calabrese, Josh Mack, of course, you're going to be able to do more with Zach Wilson than we can. It's New York. It's the whole thing. How about we just flip-flop? You'll save yourself $22 million or $24 million, and you get a young 23-year-old quarterback, and we'll even throw in a 6th, 5th. How about that? We'll give you a 5th. I mean, you think there's any likelihood that Josh McDaniels bites on something like that?
No, but
what?
But what if Josh McDaniels said, who I could do a reunion with? Shady Tom Brady. What if Tom Brady?
That's what's going to happen. That's what I see happening.
But then he could still want Zach as a backup and say, I can fix Zach, maybe. And they say, okay, let him sit behind Tom freaking Brady for a year. And then maybe Tom Brady's only going to play one more year. We don't know. Who knows? And then maybe they think, okay, in year 4, Zach will be ready to go. And now I got a whole plan here.
Right. And then Tom Brady's just going to he's going to offer the Las Vegas Raiders very good rates on TB12 supplements. And then he'll only have to have a salary of $12 million. So,
Yeah. Hey, and McDaniels knows all about that, right? McDaniels comes from over there. So, because you'd have to think, so if they're getting rid of Carr, what's their plan? What is their plan exactly?
Yeah.
I would like to know what is McDaniels and team and Ziegler, what are they thinking? Like, they obviously, this doesn't look good. Like, they're not going to keep Carr. Okay, well, what's the plan? Jared Stidham? Do they really believe in Jared Stidham? Really?
Well, interestingly, Jared Stidham was on the Pats when they drafted him, so he's worked with them. But I would be surprised if that's the long-term plan. But you know what? I thought, Frankie, when they were having real struggles. I mean, now they have 7 wins, and that, I mean, if they only have 7 wins, I mean, they'll be toward the front of the draft. But when they were like a 3-win team, I thought Josh McDaniels would love to grab his own young quarterback. And that buys a head coach a few years and all kinds of stuff like that. I mean, generally speaking, it's rare that you get a Steve Wilkes, Josh Rosen thing like in the Arizona situation where they only both get 1 season. That's really rare. And I think Josh McDaniels, if he had the opportunity to draft his own quarterback, I think he would jump at that. But now that if they win another game and they're an 8-win team, they're in the middle of the pack. What quarterback are they going to get at pick 21? You know what I mean? Or something like that, instead of being up front. So that's what I thought was going to happen. But I think, we joke, but I really do think it's a very strong possibility that Tom Brady just goes and links up with his guy and they go for a run. They just try to get the run. There's some talent on the roster. I mean, who knows?
Yeah, I mean, they still have Devontae. I mean, what are you going to do with Tay? I mean, is he going to now? Tay will probably stay if you get Tom Brady. Is Devontae going to be happy with Bryce Young or C.J. Stroud or Will Levis or Anthony Richardson? Now, if you get a Tom Brady, you might want to draft an Anthony Richardson because there's a plan.
There you go. Now now you have a plan, right? Then you have a plan. I think we should really be chummying up with them right now. Joe Douglas should be buying them dinner. Hey, let's just hang out. I always just liked that. I wanted to bend your ear on a few things. Can I ask you some questions? Can you help me? That's the way to do it. Flattery and can you help me? Joe Douglas says, Josh, I've always respected you, man. Can you help me out? And they build the report. He goes, hey, by the way, I'll give you Zach. Just go ahead. Take Zach. Throw me Carr. I'll take that off your hands for you. Why not? You don't like him. He sucks. Just give me him. Somebody in the chat today said the reason they don't like Derek Carr because he wears mascara. That's pretty funny. I mean, he does look like he wears mascara. That's enough. I mean, dude, he could wear clown face for all I give a shit. Throwing 4,800 yards. I mean, his average is what? It's 3,950. That's his average. We haven't even seen a quarterback hit that. Period.
Do people understand what Derek Carr ran before McDaniels? Like, do people get that? Is anybody talking about there was a man who was the head coach of the Raiders? Do we remember this man? He was also the play caller. Do we remember? It's a famous man.
You mean the Gruden man?
Yeah, John Gruden. And what is John Gruden known for? Offensively. Not with his emails and everything.
Yeah, right. He's known for a few things. He's suing the NFL now, though, I heard. But that's a whole different thing. Frankie, go ahead and lay it on us.
What he's known for schematically is running, guess what? A West Coast offense and a very complicated one with complicated verbiage. And that's what Derek Carr was running when he was putting up 70% completion percentage and 4,000 yards and 4,800 yards. And he's having all these seasons. He's had Derek Carr, by the way, 4 seasons, which would any one of which would be the best season we've ever had in 50 years, ever. Yep. He's had 4 of them.
Yeah. So, amazing. And let's add to this, right. But Frankie, let's add to this. Like when we do nitpick Derek Carr, he's had 4 head coaches in 9 years. He's had, Jake Assman gave me a stat today. He said he's never had a defense ranked higher than 20th. Never. Right. He's had myriad offensive line, compilements, for lack of a real word. Yeah, and they've revolving door at the skill positions. You know what I mean? So, and he's been able to thrive. Look at last year alone. You got the just incredibly upheaving situation with John Gruden, right? Embarrassment, changing area. It was like mayhem. Then you get the Henry Ruggs drunk driving incident. Yeah. Throughout all of it, 4,800 yards. I mean, come on. But to be fair, they're all in garbage time. Watch It K had a good comment. He said, where do I see those garbage time stats? Where do we get that? Oh, the garbage time stats. But anyway, Clifford Canty, thank you for the super chat. He says, 3 and out doesn't help the D. Frankie.
Complimentary.
What does he mean by that? What is he talking about?
Because the better quarterback play helps your defense, and your defense helps your quarterback play. So if we can move the ball down the field, even if it's a 9-play drive, an 8-play drive, a 14-play drive, and even if it's only a field goal or we have to punt, you're keeping the defense off the field. They're resting. It's very
Ah,
important.
that's
And
right.
so when you have a shoddy offense and the defense is on the field all the time, that is a part of the game. That's part of complementary football. That's why they talk about complementary football all the time, and it's a real thing. I mean,
Yeah, and look, and even of course, all of that. That's so incredibly important. But then, in addition to that, on a momentum side of things and in an intangible side of the game itself,
yeah, that's true.
you do know that if the defense, just like look at the Jaguars game, play 2, Quinnen Williams bursts through the line, gets a huge strip sack in the red zone, and the offense couldn't do anything with it. Do you know what that does to the defense? Like they don't have, like, if they give a big play, nothing's going to happen. Like, why not just bend and don't break? Why not just stay out? Like, we're going to come back on in a fucking 3-minute period anyway. Like, now, not that they organized the thought specifically like that, but it has that feeling.
Deflating.
It's deflating.
Yeah.
Guys, if you don't know what deflating means, think of a balloon. That's deflating. That's our defense. When the offense
we started out so
out.
good. I mean, we started out so good in that game with that Quinnen play. I mean, and then we put Streveler out as a wide receiver. What the hell was that?
Oh,
can somebody please tell me?
That fooled him.
Yeah. Good one. Sometimes you outthink yourself. You outthink yourself, LaFleur.
Yeah, and that's the stuff that I have an issue with LaFleur. Like, clearly there's enough.
He outthinks himself sometimes.
He does. He outthinks himself. And like Jeremy says all the time, he's got that little brother-itis. He's and this maybe it's not true, but I think there's some merit to it. Little brother-itis. He's trying to show the world. I'm not Matt's little brother. I'm Mike. You know what I mean? Yeah. And he's got all these. He's got all these toys he's created, and he wants to use them. It's like the military-industrial complex, Frankie. You put $680 billion into the military every year, and they're building all. Guess what? They want to play with them. They want to use them. This is part of the deal. If you go out and you buy a bunch of guitars. I spent $30,000 on guitars. What do you? I want to play them. That's what I want to use them eventually. Even if it's a 1950s Les Paul, you shouldn't even touch it. You're gonna fucking play it. That's why. Eventually you're gonna play with your toys. Tony Alexio, thank you, buddy. He says Parcells took Testaverde off the scrap heap and was our best quarterback. We want Streveler package to win. This fucking guy. I love this, Tony. Well, what's the point though, Frankie? That it doesn't necessarily have to be high pedigree. I mean, Testaverde was a number 1 overall pick and all that, of course, but that was a different lifetime by the time we got him. He was off the scrap heap, and we cut Neil O'Donnell and signed Vinny Testaverde, all while Parcells was playing golf, by the way. I don't know if you remember that. It was like during the golf outing. Testaverde was playing. They were just like, yep, that's it. Neil O'Donnell's out. Testaverde's in. And so I think the point, at least what I'm getting, is that maybe Mike White, or in his point, Streveler, you don't need to be a number 2 overall pick. Maybe, it's just about being a good football player, and you can find guys off the scrap heap and they can be impactful and effective. You think that's likely though, Frankie? That's the real question. What do you think?
I think so. I mean, that's the whole point. I think we've seen that when you just do make the easy things look easy, the offense changes a lot. I mean, so I think that's kind of my thinking as to why we go with White and a Brissett Minshew type guy and Wilson as QB3 and let them all compete, because whoever can just make the easy things look easy will have a good offense. I mean, you've seen it with Mike White. We got bogged down. If we had won that stupid Minnesota freaking game,
I know
the whole season would be different. That one damn game,
or even better, one of the Patriots games, like when we only needed to score 1 touchdown.
But I know, but he wasn't in those games. Like if you look at Mike White's 3 games, he beat the team he should have beat, the Bears.
Gotcha.
He lost to the team he was likely to lose to on the road, the Bills. Okay, we played him tough. We could have beat him. Stupid Carter fumble, all that. But still, we lost to the Bills, and you expected to lose that game. But the one we really should have won was the Vikings game, and we had a good game. We just got bogged down in the stupid red zone. So
yeah,
that if Berrios catches that and all that said, Berrios, all he's got to do is catch that damn pass.
Right, we had it right. All the components were everything landed. The only thing that didn't happen was Berrios didn't catch it. Or another example is if Garrett Wilson's toe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there's a lot. I mean, we were there. And you're so right. That's what makes it so frustrating. But that's the thing, man. Like, those are the types of losses. Like, if you're going to lose, those are the types of losses you want, because it's indicative of a team getting better.
And we were moving the ball. I mean, think about that game compared to Jacksonville. We're moving the ball. We're in the game. They're a 11-1 team, or whatever they were at the time, 10-2. And we're fighting, 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 and we're fighting till the end of the freaking game. We're fighting, and we're fighting, and we're fighting, and we lost, and it was terrible. It was heartbreaking. But that's I mean, compare that to what we did in Jacksonville, where we weren't fighting. Was anybody fighting? Streveler was fighting. Streveler was running around like a metronome. By the way, he runs like a metronome. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. There he goes. Tick tock, tick.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's fighting. He's running around. Okay, great, good for him. But that's not what you want. So it's just that's all we need, is that type of performer. White could do it, but he's not durable. So that's why I say we need him plus a guy like a Brissett or a Minshew or Derek Carr if that becomes realistic, because they can do those type of things. And then the defense should be even better next year, because they're not on the field as much. They feel better. They're not deflated when they do make a great play and all that kind of thing. And plus, we'll get reloaded. We'll get another linebacker. We'll get a free safety for once, for God's sakes. Why we had to give the Giants their starting free safety, I don't know, for no reason, because we had to have Tony Adams.
It's right. It's just that's, and look, we were all pissed, all of us
at the time. I said it at the time.
Yeah, all of us. We were all upset by that. We didn't understand it. And now look, he's playing very, very well. And we had our answer, man. He was there. He was here.
Yeah.
But so if we add a legitimate free safety, we add a legitimate, like a real good clog style 330 defensive tackle. There's one where is he? Come out of Oregon. I gotta look.
Yeah. Like, we need some DTs. Yeah, we need a couple of DTs. Do we sign Rankins back, which we should? We need a couple of DTs. We need a linebacker. We need a safety. But then the defense, we're probably getting rid of, by the way, Jordan Whitehead. Hate to tell you. We're probably getting
disappointing, man.
Disappointing, and we save a lot of money by getting rid of him.
And we'll look at that in a minute. I actually want to do a whole little segment here, Frankie, if we could, in a few minutes, and we're going to look at some of the contracts. I'd like to get your opinion on who do you think might be gone. Again, we're talking a lot about our playoff chances and all, but it's a long show and we got a lot to discuss. I want to just dip our toes into that pool if we could. Look at a few things. Carl Lawson, Carl fucking ridiculous. Corey Davis. Oh
Braxton
my God.
Braxton Berrios.
Yeah, some of those guys, right. See what it looks like to get rid of some of these guys. I mean, those two I just mentioned are just zero. I mean, there's no repercussions if we let them go. Yeah. Now they'll be cut, so they don't count to the salary cap. But anyway, Snowball says, remember, the yards don't tell the story. And I hear myself when I say that 4,800 yard, but it is bigger than that, man. That's why we're talking so much about, when we're saying Derek Carr specifically, about the circumstances around him. And don't forget, he's always got 25 touchdowns, 13 picks. He's always lopsided in the touchdown to interception. And he's got, his average is 64.8%, completion percentage over his career.
And that's all we need.
And it's all we need.
And you want to look at other percentages, Snowball, look at touchdown percentage and look at interception percentage and look at Anya. So like the interception percentage, you want it under 2. What's his career average interception percentage? 2.0. It's right where you'd want it. You want it a little lower. Okay. And this year it's gone up a little bit with all the, turnover there, different offense and everything. It did go up a little bit, but so did Aaron Rodgers, So, you look at that, and then you want Anya, you want it to be 6-7 yards, per. And and he's right in the neighborhood. So he's right. Anything you want to look at statistically for him, he's right there.
Yeah. So those are the types of things. Like, and I say that all the time. Like, numbers alone do not tell the story. Again, you can look at a box score and you think, holy shit, he's 10 for 29. What a turd he is. Well, he also had 14 drops in the same game. You know what I mean? Like, whatever. That's a simplistic way to look at it. But it's like those types of things, man. You need more of the story. But Thomas Cahill checking in. He wants to ask you, Frankie, what do you think of Stanford quarterback Tanner? What is it, McKee? Right, Tanner McKee. I don't know much about him. I haven't really looked at him. I don't even know where he's projected to go. I could take a quick look.
Yeah, I mean, I know about him. He's tall. He's kind of stiff, not athletic. He's very tall, though. Obviously, he comes from Stanford, so he's smart. But
6'6", yeah, 230. Wow.
Yeah, he's tall. He's smart. He's not very athletic, though. And I think he's ranked in the top 10 quarterbacks. But remember, only 9, 10, 11 quarterbacks get taken every year. So he's sort of in the back end. He's a guy you'd want to look at as a UDFA, as a 6th round, 7th round pick. We don't have a 7th round pick.
We might not have a 6th either.
And he might go higher because of position premium. But I don't want to draft a quarterback. I want an experienced guy who can just do what we need him to do. That's the point, I think.
I'm with you. So
there's an interesting there's no such thing as a bad UDFA contract. Yeah.
Right. There's an interesting guy, Jaron Hall out of BYU. We should take a look at that guy. But Tanner McKee on Draft Tech anyway currently is rated their 6th overall quarterback. But yeah, it's an interesting quarterback bunch. CJ Stroud, Bryce Young, Will Levis, and then you got Anthony Richardson and Hooker out of Tennessee. But I don't know. I haven't really put much thought into it yet, Tom. I'm really enjoying not digging in. By this time, I'm usually at least 2-3 positions in, like 10 deep. That's what I do. I do a 10 pack of I dig into these guys, and I'm going to start with defensive tackles this year. That's my entry point. That's going to be my on-ramp. I'm excited to talk defensive tackle because I haven't talked about them for years because we overdid defensive tackles for so many years. I was really enjoying looking at offensive tackles and wide receivers and linebackers and all that fun stuff. And quarterback for that matter. But I haven't really looked at it, so I'm going to soon. But again, I'm enjoying just actually watching some football during the season, man. Imagine that. New. Brian Bogan's checking in, Frankie. He says, Zach held out on signing his rookie contract until he got fully guaranteed. It's on him that he's going to be riding the bench for 2 years.
That's not accurate.
Yeah. So, I'm not sure. Well, the contract, his holdout was for the, what's the word they use, Frankie?
Offset language.
Right.
There's only two things you can negotiate in these rookie contracts. One is the offset language, and the other is the timing of the payment. And I think Douglas got the offset language and he gave him the payment. So in fact, we got the better of the deal because who cares when he gets his money? We don't care about that. But the offset language is important, and I think Douglas won that negotiation, if I recall correctly. Meaning that he got the offset language in there. So if he goes somewhere else, we get some savings and shavings. We shave off whatever portion the other team has to pay. We get a shaving of that. So I think we won the offset. We actually won that negotiation, to be honest, I think. So, but it's all set. Like these rookie contracts nowadays, they're all, there's not a lot you can negotiate. You can only negotiate a couple of things. That's it.
Yeah. So that's the thing now. And, I think, you have a point with it's on him that he's riding the bench. I think it's true. I think it's more woven around his performance, Brian, as opposed to anything else. But yeah, look at this. And I want to just say, Isu RB Forel, the number you see, he's a clown face. I like, Joaquin Phoenix to the Jets. But I learned what this means, Frankie. He sent me a tweet and he let me know this stands for Illinois State University Redbird for Life. Frankie, is that what it is? Redbird? Did I get that right? I hope I did. But yeah, Illinois State University Redbird for Life. That's what it means. I was trying to make like a word out of it. I sue horrible for you. I was trying to do something and I'm failing miserably. Jet Show. What's up, Mr. Show? Checking in. Don't forget the Jet Show is another Jets YouTube channel. Good dude over there. I've enjoyed watching that channel numerous times. So thank you for checking in. He says, hola, ladies and germs. Thoughts on Carl Laws? Well, this is good. This will be our segue into a few things that I want to discuss with you, Frankie. I'm so okay with letting him go next season if we can't renegotiate his contract. Now, we'll start with that. I'm going to go ahead and pull up over the cap and our contracts for this season. But what do you think, Carl Lawson in particular, to answer Jet Show's question? How do you feel about letting Carl Lawson go? Do you think we just let him ride the contract? You want to renegotiate, or are you letting him walk? Where do you stand?
Yeah, I'd like to renegotiate. He's been disappointing. I thought he'd be stronger in the second half of the year as his Achilles, got better, and he just hasn't. So I do think, though, that he could be better next year, a year away from that injury. But on the other hand, I don't want him at that cap number. So he's going to have to me, he either wants to renegotiate and stay here and give us a friendly deal because he has not been productive enough to get that cap number. He's our highest. He's killing us on this cap. You're killing me here, Smalls. But
yeah.
And I love him. I love the guy. Love him in the room, but I don't love him for 15. I gotta get you lower, Carl. And I'll extend you. I'll do right by you, but we got to get this number under control. It's out of control.
So here is, and I actually agree. I think, sad to say, I think he does play well. I think he has an impact. He's not getting home like we'd like to see. He's had his impact plays. He does provide a lot of pressure. He does. But I still think he's disappointing. And I would agree, when we're up against the cap, and like Jake always says, the cap's fake, right? The cap is fake. You just got to know that, and you got to know how to, work within it, and you can get a lot done. And we've seen many teams do that. We haven't seen Joe Douglas need to do that yet. So it's going to be really interesting to see how we transition from a guy tearing down a shitty organization and installing a firm foundation, which I think he's done a very, very good job. But now we have to see how he balances the cap and manages it moving forward. So it's going to be interesting to see how he does with all this. But at the top of the heap, if you're up against the cap and you need breathing room, Carl Lawson is an obvious candidate to be discussed because he's got zero guaranteed money, man. Let me do this. Sorry. I'll get a little bit bigger. So here you go, guys. This is it. So his cap number is $15.3 million. None of that is guaranteed. In the event we cut him pre-June 1st, which enables you to get it all off the books right then, he's only costing you $333,333. Let's see post-June 1st if you want. I mean, I don't see any reason why they'd want to spread it out. But it's the same anyway. So you're saving a whopping and even $15 million. And if you're thinking Carl Lawson, we pull him off. We got Michael Clemens, we got Bryce Huff, we got Jermaine Johnson. Maybe it makes a whole lot of sense to just let him walk. Now, again, it's a cut, so it's not exactly letting him walk. You have to cut him, which it removes him from the compensation pick pool, which is one thing. So that's a little bit of a negative. But do you think it's realistic, Frankie? I mean, if they, he might not want to renegotiate and take less money. Hey, this is I want my $15 million. It's not all that much by considering starting defensive end. But I don't know. What do you think? If you had to guess, Carl Lawson a Jet next year?
I would say he is a Jet, but at a lower number. I think Joe Douglas is going to say this cap number is out of whack with the market. You're not going to get this much on the market because that's what he did to Jamison Crowder last year. He said, "You're taking a pay cut," and Jamison Crowder said, "What? Excuse me?" He said, "Yeah, we're cutting your salary because this salary is just way out of line with the market. We could release you, but you're not going to get what I'm going to give you instead, which was a lower number." And he went to the agent. The agent said, "Yeah, whatever they're going to offer, that's more than we're going to get. So just take it." So I think that's what he's going to do. Yeah. He's going to go to him and say, "Listen, Carl, you're not going to get 15. Not with this year you just had, that you just coming off an injury and 6 sacks and you got, you got a lot of pressure. I don't think anybody's going to give you 15. If that's the case, and Joe Douglas knows that, then he's going to cut him down to size, and he might say, "Yeah, I'll give you an extra year at that, too. Maybe we'll throw in some bonuses, sack bonuses and things like that to
right."
bit,
Yeah, and
I
that could
think
be fun. Like, how about this? If you actually do your job, we'll give you more money. How's that sound? Yeah,
Go
we'll
to the
pay you this if you
Pro
actually
Bowl,
do it.
throw in a Pro Bowl, you make a Pro Bowl, you make this, that, and the other thing. So that's
Yeah.
what I think they'll do. They'll probably cut him down to size because this is not. He's out of whack right now. He's just out of
Yeah,
whack.
I
Whereas
agree.
Corey Davis, you could make the case, even though Corey Davis has been somewhat disappointing, that number for a wide receiver
It's very low.
is low. So
Yeah.
you could say, let's leave Corey Davis alone because it's if we let him go, he might be able to get more on the market. So we might have a value here.
Yeah. So Corey Davis is an interesting one, just like Frankie said. And it's kind of where I am with it. Like, look, his cap number right here, guys, is a little over $11 million. And we can cut him and save almost the entire $11 million. There's a $666,000 dead cap hit, which is obviously less than $1 million. So you're getting like roll right here, $10.5 million back on the cap. Now, if you feel like Denzel Mims is absolutely ready to assume the full role, and then you can
think that.
What's that?
I don't think they think that. As much of a big Mims fan, I don't think he's shown enough for them to say goodbye, Corey. Mims is stepping up. I think Mims next year is still in that wide receiver 5, wide receiver 6 category. He hasn't shown enough.
Yeah,
and I'm
and
the
if
biggest Mims fan there is. So
yeah, right, totally. And if that's the case, I mean, Mims has had a tough road with these guys. He has to play exceptionally well to even be on even footing, in my view. So I think he's done well. I think he's made himself a spot on the team, which is nice to see. But again, just like Frankie said, even though we save almost $11 million, the truth is he's a good starting receiver, and he does a lot of other things like the very, very effective blocking. And he's cheap by comparison to wide receivers. This is actually pretty damn cheap. So I say he's probably a keeper, even though, look, he's one of the guys with very little dead cap. I still think Corey Davis ends up staying. You got JFM. JFM, I don't know if I'd call him disappointing, but I don't know. I don't know how I feel about JFM, but you could save you can say the dead cap is 7, so you save a little over $5 million if you cut JFM. Any thoughts that they'll do something like that, Frankie?
no, I think they might convert some of these bonuses into salary, into signing bonus or something. He's got some bonus money in here, workout. I mean, so we could save a little bit of money, but I think JFM is a value for what he provides.
Yeah. So another big one that we discuss often is this guy right here. Well,
Now, this is a big question. I don't know. This is the weirdest contract of all time.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know what we're doing with Mosley. They're going to want to keep him. The coaches are going to say, we got to keep him. Joe Douglas is going to say, okay, but 21 and a half. I mean, come on now.
It's a lot. And the interesting thing is that there's no guaranteed money. So you could cut him, right?
At
There's
21,
there's a dead cap hit, but it saves you almost $7 million. So if they're really pressed, it's something to consider. But then you got to think you're paying $15 million for a guy who's not on your team. So yeah, I think you got to renegotiate with this guy. You have to.
I mean,
now,
we did last year. Does he want to renegotiate? He's going to get. Why is he going to renegotiate? I mean, he has no. Does he really think we're going to cut him and save 6.5? That's a tough one.
I know, because this is like, I mean, look, he's been paid very, very well since he's been here. Now it's been cockeyed and all over the place. Like this year, I forget what it is. I think let me see. I think he's like only $5 million or something this year. Yeah. So look, he's under $6 million as far as his cap number this year. So he's making a lot of money.
Cash, but he probably made 20 or whatever.
Yeah. Let's see.
In his pocket. I mean, so.
Well, this year was just one of those, those anomalous years where he didn't, but he's been paid very, very well since he's been here. But this could be the last time that he ever sees a $21 million.
Yeah, that's why he could say. Yeah, that's why he could say, you don't have the leverage. You want me here. The coaches want me here. Yeah, I'm still. You're gonna have to cut me. He could say.
He could very well say that. So what about this guy? We'll wrap it. I want to talk about, like you said, Jordan Whitehead. We'll talk about Jordan Whitehead, Berrios, and this guy. So we have Laken Tomlinson here.
Yeah, go to 23.
Oh, right on. Thank you. I forgot I did that. All right. So Laken Tomlinson, where did he go? Right there. So here you go. We got Laken Tomlinson. He's right here, guys. Oh. Okay. So this is the Laken Tomlinson line right there. So right now he's next year, I mean, he's got a guaranteed salary of 10 million. His cap number is 17, which is astronomical for a guy that's as spotty as he. I mean, it's really a shame. So we cut him, Frankie. He's $18 million dead cap. So let's see post June 1st. Post June 1st, it improves a little bit. We saved $3 million, but people were talking about moving on from him. I think it's a virtual impossibility. How do you feel?
I got to renegotiate him. He's not. We got to make the case, Laken. You're not a $17 million player. You're killing us with this cap hit. We got to renegotiate him. We got to get that down somehow. He's not going to get cut. I just don't see it. Now, if Coach Benton needs to explain to me why the hell Laken Tomlinson isn't the same Laken Tomlinson we thought we were getting. That's what Coach Benton has to explain to me. Coach Benton, what the F is going on with this guy?
Yeah.
Why is he a totally different player than he was the last year of San Francisco? What is going on? And I want to hear Coach Benton tell me what's going on. Did he have a minor injury? Did he what is it? You didn't understand
it's weird. Did you see I think it was Joe Blewett that put up a little tweet, Laken Tomlinson pulling and literally completely missing his guy.
Yeah.
Like completely missing his guy.
He's been
I don't know what it is. Like, what the fuck happened to this guy?
So but nonetheless, I think 17 is too big. I
think so too, for sure.
We got to renegotiate it somehow.
Well, what's a number? What's a number for him that makes you comfortable?
I don't know, man.
3,
like
2?
Where is he? Like, where is he in the guard rankings? He's not a Pro Bowl player. He's got to get down to 10 or something. I mean, he's got to get down to a reasonable number. I don't know how. I don't know. It's a weird one. Joe's going to have to tweak it. I don't know. He's durable.
Let me see where he is. Laken Tomlinson.
He's durable. He plays. That's something.
Let me see. I'm just taking a look here. Left guard contracts. He is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's the 5th highest paid left guard in the NFL.
Yeah, and he's not that he hasn't played that well. And like I said, first conversation I'm having is with John Benton. What the F is going on with this guy?
Yeah.
Paying him like a top 5 guy. He's not a top 5 guy. What's going on? If he tells me, he had a minor injury, played through or something, fine, then maybe we keep it that way. But I don't know. We got to get the number down some kind of way.
All right, so here's Jordan Whitehead right here.
Now Whitehead, I think he's going to get cut.
Yeah, well, he's you save quite a bit with Jordan Whitehead. Now I don't know what happens the year after that, but this is Jordan Whitehead. So his cap number's 10.2. You cut him, you got a 2.9 dead cap, and so you have a savings of 7.2. Let me see post June 1st if that was post. I'm sorry, I meant to put. Shit. No, there it is. Same difference. So it's the same situation. You're saving $7.25 million to cut Jordan Whitehead, and you can push reset. What do you think about that?
Well, guess who's a free agent that I would like to pursue and use?
Jamal Adams, baby. I'm just
kidding. No, absolutely not. But use some of this 7.2 and some of these savings we're coming. How about a little Jordan Poyer action?
There you go. Now, he was on my list last year.
And maybe now Buffalo probably won't let him go, but because he's just too good. But you can dream. I mean, if he looks like he's becoming available, that would be a significant upgrade. And then we'd have to draft someone. Brian Branch comes to mind. And then we'd have some safeties. Then we'd have some freaking safeties around here. But yeah, this Whitehead. I mean, now if he wants to renegotiate it and get it down, fine. But otherwise, I think he's getting cut because there's just too many missed tackles, man. Like, dude, wrap up. Wrap these people up, Jordan. We've been talking to you about wrapping up all season. Beginning of the year, even the beat writers asked him about it. He said, "Oh yeah, I'm going to clean it up. It'll take 2 seconds, no problem." And we're still seeing he doesn't tackle properly. He doesn't wrap
Yeah.
people up. He throws his shoulder instead of wrapping up.
Yeah.
Wrap people up, Jordan.
Yeah. And he's taken some bad angles, which I'm really surprised to see. I'm really upset with it because he has had good games and he's had his impact plays, but
Yeah, right.
again, so I see some conversations in there just very quickly about offset language. So maybe we didn't really just explain what it is. Offset language is pretty important. Now it should never kill a contract one way or the other, in my opinion, but it is important. Now Frankie said that Zach Wilson, that Joe Douglas got the better of it. I just don't recall. I'll buy it. I don't know. But what it really means is that in the event you do cut somebody and they get signed somewhere else. So like, let's say he's got a $10 million dead cap on your books, but you cut him anyway, and he goes somewhere else and he signs for $5 million. Depending on how the offset language is, you could have negotiated that whatever he signs for. So he signs for that $5 million, that comes off of what you have to pay. You know what I mean?
As opposed to being added to where he would get
right.
5. So he would, if it was in his favor, he would get 5 from them plus whatever he was entitled to from us. He would get plus.
Right. So he would get the 10 million and then get the extra 5. If we win the negotiation, it means that ours goes down to 5 and it just remains that 10. No matter what, if it's 9 million, then we only get 1. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's the way that goes. I don't remember how Zach's, but I'll go with Frankie. He says that we got the better. Then that means if Zach does, just in any situation, but if we owe him any money and he goes somewhere else, whatever he signs for comes off of our books, which would be nice. Now Anders, just real quick on the Anders comment here. He says, if we beat Seattle, that means literally every game of the season, all 17 meant something.
Yeah,
Incredible.
that's a great point. That is a
great
good point. That is a good point. And that is a progress. That's called progress, people. That's progress, isn't it? I mean, think about where we were, folks.
That's right.
Adam Gase and Dowell Loggins and this one and that one and Jamal Adams and all these people. Think about where we've come from. And
I know. I think
this is such a huge game on Sunday. It's unbelievable.
It really is. And we have to show up, man. We have to. If we don't show up, there's a whole bunch of other questions. You know what I mean?
We got it. I mean, can we get the ball, score first, get everybody relaxed, score a touchdown?
Yeah.
Just quiet the crowd a little bit.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, man. Like I said, we have to show up for this game. We have to come out. We have to show up. We got to show how talented we are, and we got to play hard from beginning to end. And if we do that, I think we have a good chance of winning, man. We can beat this team. I mean, I'm not overlooking them. I'm not saying they're a bunch of slouches or anything like that, but we can beat them. If we play our game, we can beat this team. And it'll be really, really good if we do. But, guys, don't forget where we came from, man. Like that, people are like, there's a lot of people like just so disappointed with Joe Douglas. Dude, look at the transformation in this team. It's a completely different team. Yes, the late season collapse really puts a bad taste in your mouth. We could have won even one more of those games, but what was likely was we won, 3 at this point. Dude, we're talking about a 9-10 win team going into the end of the season. I mean, and we were that close to doing it. This is not the 45-6 teams and 21-0 teams that we were so used to watching for so many, except for the fucking Jaguars game. Was close. But real quick, we'll do BG the Kid, and then we're going to look at Braxton Berrios, and then we're going to bring in Wat2K for some trivia action. BG the Kid, thank you, buddy. He says, you see the report about Saleh and Woody, a head or two will roll because of Zach Wilson. Also, I don't know your thoughts on Carr, but his quarterback rating was higher this year than last year, which is crazy. Well, we spent a lot of time dissecting Carr. I'll say this real quick. It sounds like Frankie is. I don't want to speak for him, but I am 100% behind the idea of signing Carr if we can do it. I don't know if we can. You have to trade for him because he's still under contract, but they couldn't get out of the contract, so they may cut him. I think they're going to obviously try to get something for him, but it is possible that they cut him as well. This is the 1 year that they can get out with mitigated damages. But I would be ecstatic with Derek Carr.
Here's another twist. Derek Carr has a full no trade. Derek Carr has a full no trade. So how are they going to be able to trade him?
Well, there's an out clause. No, there's an out clause after this year.
Well, there's an out. They can cut him. Sure. If they cut
So
him,
he had
then
the full no trade. Oh, so he would have to agree. He would have to agree to it.
Why would he agree? He would just say, screw you. I don't like you. It's Josh McDaniels. Screw you. You're going to have to release me. Because why would he want the team he's going to have to give up compensation and make their team worse? He would say, no. Whatever team I'm going to go to, I want them to have all their players and all their picks and everything else because I want the team to be good. So that's an interesting twist. Just learned that today. I believe it's accurate, hopefully. Yeah, and then that means really that Derek Carr decides where he wants to go. Unless they want to keep him. I mean, they could decide to keep him, I guess. But I don't think he's going to get traded because of that. He would just say, no, I'm just going to, if you want to get rid of me, you're going to have to cut me. And then I get to decide out of all the teams that need a quarterback, there's a lot of them. Maybe he has a favorite, but I do think we're a good situation. Think about it. If it's a situation where he gets to decide, we're pretty good. We're a pretty good spot. We got a pretty good defense. We got a coach everybody likes. We got, got weapons. We got AVT coming back. We got Breece Hall coming back. We got Garrett and Elijah and everybody. It's pretty good. Pretty good situation. How many other teams who need a quarterback can say they got what we got?
Yeah. Dude, it's really, that's the truth. And don't forget, LaFleur and the offense that we run is not exactly looked at with the negative light that a lot of Jets fans are. We're ultra
and he would like it. Like I said, Gruden ran the same damn thing. He's used to it. He'd come right in and know it like the back of his hand. Gruden's is harder. Gruden used the hardest verbiage of anybody in the history of football, apparently. So it's the same system, but with easier verbiage to remember and so forth. So he should love our system too. It's a system fit. That's the other part.
Yeah, agreed. Now, to get to your first half, we talked about this a little bit earlier too, BG, but what I'm going to say is this. There was no source to that story. It was just a bunch of
anonymous NFL executive. So the head of accounting in the NFL office in New York had some opinions.
Yeah. Right. The accountant for the Arizona Cardinals thinks, you know what I mean? Like that's it, dude. It, like literally it's baseless. It's completely baseless. And I'm on the side of thinking that they would rather, this organization, the way it's built right now, would much rather overcome obstacles than succumb and fucking start chopping heads off and starting over all over the place. Like, I just don't see it. I don't see it, And
when has Woody operated that way anyway?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
he's going to go to Joe and he's going to defer to Joe. Joe is the boss. Remember?
Yeah, I agree. Unless he's getting rid of Joe.
Equals,
Yeah, right. Unless he's getting rid of Joe Douglas, which I think is laughable.
Yeah, that'd be ridiculous.
I don't see it. I agree with you. I think Joe Douglas runs the damn football operation, man. That's what it is. What he's proven.
Of course, he's going to be upset. In that article, they said he was upset that people were booing, in the stadium. Of course, he was upset.
So was I.
So every Jet fan was upset. We're all upset. Everybody upset here.
Right.
But, so of course they were saying, well, everybody's booing and Woody's pissed off about that, and therefore heads are going to roll. That's doesn't work like I don't see Woody operating like that.
Yeah, nor do I.
Not with this configuration.
Yeah, but it's a funny thing, BG. Like even yourself, right? Like a lot of us, like we see these stories and we assume that they're real, but they're not. Like if you just backtrack a little bit, like that one, I think that started with New Jersey, NJ.com.
No, it started. I'll tell you who it started with.
Where did it go?
Jason La Canfora of the Washington Post, who covers the damn Ravens for the most part, and probably the Commanders, that knows nothing about the Jets. What does he know about the Jets? Jason La Canfora? Yeah,
right.
He's a Ravens reporter. Go report on the Ravens. They probably don't have enough drama going on at the Ravens.
Well, that's exactly it, dude. It's just dip your wick into the pool with the Jets drama. That's it. Let me get 1 million clicks real fast.
And
that's
you can get a quote out of anybody. You know how to do it, GreenBean. You just lead them. Don't you think Woody Johnson was pretty upset when people were booing? Oh, yes. Well, Woody Johnson was very upset when they were booing. Like you lead them on. You ask 20 questions leading, and then you get the responses. And then you can say, this source said this, source said that. You put it all together. There's your report. Boom. Done.
Yeah, I agree. So Timmy Lamb Jones, just send in some love. Thank you, Timmy. I'm glad you can check us out live here. He says he rarely gets to catch it live. When he does, he tries to support the cause. Happy New Year, and let's get in the playoffs. I'm with you. Thank you. I'm glad that you're here with us. I'm glad that you actually, for whatever the circumstances may be, I'm glad you were able to spend some time with us here, and I appreciate that, man. Happy New Year to you, Timmy Lamb Jones. I wonder if that's his real name, Frankie.
Probably not.
Joe S. says, do you trust that Woody doesn't do anything stupid? Again, just like Frankie said, I am of the belief that Woody doesn't run the football operations. I mean, they've done that with the coach and the GM reporting to they've done it. It was a complete failure for years. It was a monumental failure. Don't forget, Woody Johnson has already shown us he is well aware of his limited capacity to run and make choices in this capacity. He hired 2 separate times outside firms to choose his next GM and coach. Or one time it was only a GM, one time it was a GM and coach. He went to a firm, Corn Ferry, the one time. When that didn't work, he then went to 2 previous general managers in the NFL, in Casserly and Ron Wolf, and asked them to do it. Woody's not stepping on Joe Douglas, pushing him around, telling him to do what he wants to do. It's just not, I don't think it's real, man. I just don't. I think people put a lot of emphasis on that, and I don't think it's real, Joe. Frankie, do you agree, disagree? I mean,
he's not Jerry Jones. I mean, when has
Right.
Woody Johnson operated like that? I don't think he operates like that. Yeah, he's made some mistakes in hiring, and yeah, he needed some help with these firms and so forth. But now I think he knows Joe Douglas is a good football man, and he's not going to mess with Joe Douglas. And he's going to be upset, and he's going to go to Joe and say what's going on. And Joe will talk. Joe is the boss of Saleh, and Saleh is going to have to make a call on these coaches. If anybody is going to say we could make a change, it's going to be Saleh's decision. Saleh is the boss of the coaches. The owner can override anything, of course, but I just don't. He's not Jerry Jones. He's not a meddlesome owner. I don't think.
Yeah, I actually see it the same way. Let's get Thomas Cahill. I gotta ask you to slow your roll, Thomas. I don't know. This isn't my gig. He says, let's plaster Gino's media with pictures of IK. It's funny. I think it's funny to talk about amongst ourselves. I wouldn't want to see anybody doing that, man. Number one, it could give him additional motivation. Like, why do that? Like, I'm going to make these sons of bitches pay. Like, why do anything to inspire him to be, laser focused? I don't know. But it's funny. It's funny. I'm sure he remembers it. Gino is on record recently saying he's got nothing but love and a lot of love for the Jets. So let's let him keep it that way. You know what I mean? Let's not remind him that when he was here, he got his face ripped off in the locker room.
Do we know why that happened, by the way?
Yeah, $600 he owed him.
$600, and the guy just freaking.
Yep. Yeah, Gino snuck, snidely, basically said you're beat. Instead of paying
what
him
did he
the
owe him $600 for?
I think it was a flight or something. I don't remember. It's been a long time, but I think I remembered like he bought him something and he owed him and he just didn't want to pay him back. Something stupid like that. $600. You can look it up. Why did IK and Campali punch Smith? But I'm pretty sure that's what it was, and I believe the number was 600. Anybody can correct me if I'm wrong. It's been a long time, but that's the way I remember it. Jonathan Francois, what's up, Jonathan? Checking in. Hey guys, let's try to enjoy these last 2 games. Hope we get a win. And in situation versus Miami, that would be fun. Peace and love. Happy New Year. Let me tell you, I'm with Jonathan.
Very rational.
What's that?
Very rational comment, right?
It is. But it's like, guys, stop when you have that inner mechanism telling you, oh, we're going to lose. Stop it right there and tell it to fuck off. Okay? Stop making me miserable, inner voice. I'm going to enjoy this. I'm going to enjoy this. We're alive. And by all rights, we really shouldn't be. So we are. It was a gift from the NFL. Enjoy your gift. Don't open the gift and go, it's not what I wanted. Enjoy the gift, right? You got skull candy earbuds, but you wanted Apple earbuds. Enjoy the skull candy earbuds. They work just the same. Just relax, okay? Everybody relax. Be grateful. I'm with Jonathan, and I think it will be fun. Now, let me just say this, and then we're going to bring Watu-K on. I got the super chats keep coming, so I'll bring Watu-K on anyway, and then we'll get into the trivia in a second. Let me say this one thing. The thing I want to remind everybody is that the Jets experience is about maximum pain, okay? That you have to know that. It's about maximum pain. So while we only need the Patriots to lose one of the next 2 games, I'm going to be rooting for them to lose against Miami to get a breath of fresh air, but I'm just going to tell you right now, it's not happening. They're going to beat the Dolphins, so it all pushes to the last game. It's the most drama. It's the most stress. It's the most money that the NFL can make. It causes the most viewership. That's what's going to happen. Win and you're in, and you realize, guys, if we win and the Patriots lose, not only do we supplant the Patriots for their spot, but we push the Dolphins out too. They're both out, I believe. So it's us.
Oh, yeah.
It's a crazy, dude, how sweet is that? But I'm just telling you, brace yourselves. We're going to root for the Miami Dolphins to beat the damn Patriots, but it ain't happening. They're going to win.
Stressful. These next 2 weeks are very stressful, GreenBean.
That's right.
But I agree with Jonathan. Let's just enjoy it. But at the same time, it's stressful as hell.
Yeah, right. That's the thing. Like, we already know it's going to be like, that's what hug each other. We're here together, man. We're here together. Let's have a good time. Let's enjoy it. Let's bring on our buddy Watu-K. We'll talk about a few more super chats. I can get this off the screen. Now, we won't do Barrios. It's just there's too much going on. But we'll say hello to our good friend, New York Sports Wicker Media himself, Watu-K. How you feeling, buddy? You okay?
Oh, man. My voice is not its usual self, but we are here. We are hanging tight. I'll be taking NyQuil about as soon as we're done tonight. But I got 3 simple words for all of us. Embrace the stress. This is what we've been waiting on. We have not dealt with this kind of stress in years. We're used to being in a complete state of malaise by now. We've been waiting for it for a long time. Hey, we thought a little while ago there could be 4 AFC East teams going to the playoffs. There could only be 1 going now, but it could be 2. There are other teams still alive. But how good would it be when the odds makers have us at around 10 to 15% to make the playoffs, and we just snatch it right away from our 2 fiercest rivals? How sweet would that feeling be?
Oh, wonderful. Super duper wonderful. And I like how Watu-K just said that, man. This is the type of stress that we've been asking for. We've been hoping for. It's very rare that you're just going to, win so many games. You got the division locked up. You're the number 1 seed. Everybody's chilling out. And that's not real. Okay. It happens to 1 fucking team every year. It's not us. Okay. This is the stress we wanted. The idea that we can actually get in the playoffs. Dude, like was said, we win this game and we now made a 17-game season mean something every single game. I know it sounds ridiculous, but for us, that's huge. We haven't seen that in forever. The last time was 2015. The last time before that was 2010. So we've had it once in 12 years. Like, dude, enjoy it, my good friends. So let's get through these super chats real quick, guys. I want to tell you, I do appreciate it. Thank you so much for the support, guys. I want to make sure I get to all of them for you guys. So Sam Aiken, thank you, buddy. He says, what do you think? JD should be made football czar. That Johnson should stay away for 3 to 5 years. They just got to keep doing it.
That's what they basically did. I mean, Douglas is in charge of all the football operations. Jaime is in charge of the business operations. And Joe Douglas is the boss of Robert Saleh, and Robert Saleh is the boss of the coaches, and Douglas is the boss of all the scouts and scouting, all that. That's what. And what do you? I mean, the Johnsons write the checks. I don't understand why people have anything bad to say about the Johnsons at this point in time.
At this point, I do get it.
Yeah, from the past.
Yeah,
but they learned from their past, and now they hired Douglas. They get out of everyone's way. They basically give Douglas whatever he wants. They sign the checks, and they run the business side. And yeah, they're awkward on social media. I get it. They're blue-blooded, awkward, guys on social media. I understand, but still, as far as owners go, it could be a lot worse.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell everybody too, just so we know, the Instagram side. I'm going to let you guys know right now. Woody has never carved up, edited, and released one single reel. Not one. He's never done it. That's a team that he has. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Twitter maybe saying, hey, look, we sold out again. Yay. But I'm with Frankie, man. I mean, it's like, guys, he was a meddler. All right. They had that whole thing where they had the coaches and the GM on the same level. They both were, it was a huge mistake, but they did that because there was incompetence all over the place. You know what I mean?
But,
It was like,
interestingly, the Denver Broncos, they're going through a little turmoil right now. You may have noticed. Nathaniel Hackett.
I saw that
a little bit.
But they said they're going to have the new head coach and the GM are going to be the co-equals, both reporting to the owner, Greg Penner. So they're going to that structure. So that is something that teams do. I think it's a mistake. Yeah. Personally, I like our structure better, especially if you have a Joe Douglas. It's also not exactly a vote of confidence for George Payton. It's kind of like, okay, George, we need you here. Yeah, right. Time's ticking away for you, Georgie boy. But nonetheless, that's what they're doing over there. So it's not like it's crazy, but I don't think it works as well, especially when you have a Joe Douglas. So I think they've got it right now. Let's not persecute them for their past sins. Let's just, I think they figured it out to some degree, and they're writing the checks. They wrote the check for Dr. DeWeese's team. They wrote the check for the new stadium. You may not like the stadium. They wrote the damn check for it, and it was a big fat check, and they didn't take any tax money at all either. And then they put it up themselves. So, I mean, I don't know what.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, man. There's a lot to like about the Johnsons, and I understand. Like, I'm not so distant and from this situation. I understand, but again, just like Frankie said, they learned, and you see it. You see, as soon as they got rid of Adam Gase, the next move was Joe Douglas is above the coach, and he's the one hiring the coach. Like, that's what it is. And like Joe Douglas has said, remember they asked him, now I don't know if he'd say it anyway, but they did ask him, like, is Woody, kind of not want you to pay for this stuff? Or what? He said, I have zero restrictions with the money on this team. It's mine. Yeah. And that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
So real quick, and watch UK, I'll get your, you got this other one. I'm going to get your opinions on this roster here. David Hubble. Thank you, David. He's 19. Look at you, all sprightly and fresh out of the box, David. I like that. 19. This is genuinely my favorite roster that I've ever witnessed. A group of players that could stay here for a long time. All I could ask for. Now, Y2K, you've been around a little bit longer than David Hubble. How do you feel about the roster? Do you think he's on to something here? You think he's got a valid reason to feel this way?
I read the super chat, and the first thought that comes to mind is, this is scary. There are literally a generation of Jets fans growing up who now cannot even remember the glory years with Rex.
I'm telling you.
Can you? That has never occurred to me until just a minute ago, where people's like, yeah, I kind of can't remember that. I just kind of remember the end of it when Idzik came along. The Idzik 12 is my first Jets memory.
Right. He was like 7.
What a way to live.
Think about it. He's what, 7, 8 when Rex?
7 years old. Yeah, exactly. Eesh. That's 7, 8 years old. So, yeah, if that's – David, if you're 19, I can't see how this would not be your favorite roster because – let's be honest, we have seen decades of inept drafting for the most part. And put it this way, if we had a good draft year, we certainly would put back-to-back good drafts together. And for whatever you want to say about Zach Wilson, there have definitely been some hits from the last draft. And then this draft has just been better. JD's drafts are getting better and better and better. And I still think that first one was affected a little bit by COVID when they couldn't really bring players in as much as they would have wanted. But yes, we are seeing a team that is not rebuilding for 1 or 2 years, which we saw too often. Even in the Parcells years, in 2015 with McCagnon and Bowles, this is sustainable success. We're seeing the beginning of it right now. So David, enjoy it. Enjoy it because a lot of us don't remember. We have a lot of scarring on us from this. But you're going to be coming in at the right time.
But this is also why the argument for a vet to come in, and maybe 2 vets, if you include Mike White, to come in and play quarterback right now. That's why it also makes sense to do that rather than take a Tanner McKee or an Anthony Richardson or a guy like that, because we have all this young talent around the team. We need to make hay now, right now, before they have to get paid. All these people are going to have to get paid. Sauce is going to get paid. Garrett Wilson going to get paid. Brees Hall going to get paid. AVT going to get paid. All these people going to get paid. We need to make hay right now, which means next year. So that's also goes into the thinking of why we need a veteran or two to just get this team where we can go, because these guys are all going to have to get paid at some point. So we don't want to sit around wasting and hoping McKee or Richardson or somebody develops, or Wilson. We don't have that kind of time. We really just don't.
I agree. And let me say this too, David. Welcome aboard, buddy. We need you. We need new blood. You got my poor son. He's 14. We got David Hubble. You guys don't know anything about good Jets football. The sad part is we barely do too. So hopefully we're turning a corner and we're building something that can be sustained success, Mr. Hubble. Thanks again for the super chat. Barney Miller, new Salah saying, lean into the stress. Did he say that?
I don't know. This should be for the fans. Like,
right. That's all I was going to say. If he did say that, that's perfect. That's perfect. Lean into the stress. I love it. That's a good one, Barney. Thank you. Tony Alexio checking back in. You want us to talk about Streveler. LaFleur is incompetent. We want Streveler package, our weapon to win. Tony, here's my hope. All jokes aside, I hope that he dresses for this game. I would like to see at least the threat of that. And in the event there's an emergency, I would, honest to God, I'd rather see Streveler than Flacco. And that's what I think. Maybe I'm wrong.
Can I ask a question about Tony Alexio? Are we sure that Tony Alexio isn't a burner account for Chris Streveler?
I'm not sure.
Oh,
that.
I think it's just the burner account for his beard. Yeah, because Trevor's got a pretty good beard. I think his own beard has a Twitter account. I think it's his beard's name is Tony Alexio.
Well, look, I want to point out, Tony, you're having an impact because Jerry the Jet is right on. Oh, he's in. He's like, all right, it's starting. The landslide has started. The Tony Alexio, Chris Streveler landslide. What's going on here?
Joshua Dobbs. That's what we need to be saying. There he goes, throwing a touchdown. How about that?
Yes.
Attaboy, Joshua. That's how you do it, you big-brained guy.
Look at Josh's mom. Like, I don't give a shit. His
like,
mom had no reaction whatsoever.
Like, we need two, buddy. We need two.
Yeah. Look at this. Look at this. Look, beautiful. Look at it. Oh, he sets his feet.
Dallas Cowboy defense against the fierce Cowboys.
Can we bring him in for quarterback coach?
No, coach, he's gonna be QB3, buddy.
I'm just messing with you.
We could trade Zach Wilson to the Titans. What are they doing? Malik Willis.
I was in Nashville for 5 days this past week for Christmas, and that fan base is pretty beaten down. They're putting on their Predators jerseys, not their Titans jerseys.
What are they doing at quarterback? Are they sticking with Tannehill or what?
I think they pretty much have to. Willis has looked. Willis does not look good. He does not look good at all.
Well, he was always developmental. That's what they said.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do this now. Like Hawk, on the other hand, providing us some sobering counterbalance to the Tony Alexio landslide. Friends don't let friends go full Streveler package. So, yeah. Do a poll. Oh, yeah, I did the poll.
Yeah, the Streveler package. Exciting at first, then it ends in disaster.
All right, so I'm going to end the poll. Then we're going to get into trivia. Jeremy, I'll bring you on for the trivia so we can make sure you're not fucking calling Glenn. We'll bring Jeremy on. So I ended the poll. Today's poll question was, do you believe that Quinnen Williams can get 2 or more sacks in this game to help the team in the way that Quinnen likes to do? 70% of you said yes, 29% said no, and as is becoming standard with these polls, there's 1% floating around in the stratosphere that we will never find. I don't know where it is.
It's a rounding error.
So what do you think, though? Frankie, how do you feel about if you were answering the poll?
Any freaking game, Quinnen can get 2 sacks. If it's Quinnen season, it's winning season.
Yeah, there you go. Y2K, 2+ sacks for Quinnen Williams this week?
Yes, I think he will have 2 sacks, and I think the Jets as a team will have at least 4 sacks against a very beleaguered Seahawks offensive line.
That would be nice.
I think Carl Lawson comes on so strong, gets 4 sacks the last 2 games, and makes us have to rethink this conversation we're having.
That would be nice. That would be nice.
It would. It would. So what's Thomas Gutman? What do you say? Hello, Thomas. Why are you doing radio? I can't see every comment, buddy. You know what I mean? He's like, yeah.
Maybe he's just checking out his radio.
No, he said hello
Comment,
before I
Thomas,
saw it.
comment,
He's like, he's
Thomas.
trying to say hello, Ty. I see it. Hello. I mean, hello for sure. I'm
But
happy
he's
you're
also
here. I
on,
love you.
he's also on a dead medium. Do you know that Facebook is dying?
Is
Get
it?
out of there. Yeah, Facebook.
Oh, you're on You know what, Thomas? So all right, my bad, Thomas. And hello for real, sincerely. But if you're on Facebook, you're not able to see the rest of the chat. That's what's going on. So you hop over to YouTube, Thomas. You're gonna see it's gonna be like boom. You're gonna be like walking out of your car into a party. That's what's gonna be happening. So go over to YouTube, go to GreenBean Jetsfan. Click on the Thursday Thick of It thumbnail, and you'll see there's a whole mess of combos going on. Let me see how many guys are on Facebook. It's just you, one.
Facebook.
That's
is
what
dying.
it is. Thomas,
Facebook is dead. Forget Facebook. It's over.
he's all alone over there.
You've heard of Revis Island. We've got Gutman Island now.
That's right. Thomas, forgive me for even having any snide and bite to my comment to you, man. I'm sorry. You are alone. He's like, hello, radio check. What the hell is everybody talking about? Where are these super chats coming from? What the hell is going on? Hop on over to YouTube. Let us know when you get there, Thomas. Let us know when you get to YouTube.
Pat McAfee just tweeted Dobbs balling.
Yeah, there you go. Well, come on, Dallas.
Yeah,
We need
that's
to
my
win.
boy. Who else in the Jet universe has been talking about Josh Dobbs? That's all I want to know. Tell me.
I
know
don't know
you're the
anybody
guy.
in any universe that was talking about Josh Dobbs.
Just me. Just the Frankie universe.
Frankie, it got to the point where I found out he was playing. I did my confidence picks earlier today. Trust me, I gave you a shout out.
Yes.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Josh
Tony
Dobbs.
Alexio says no traveler package, no playoffs, dummy. All right, there it is. So Thomas, real quick, he says the audible sounds horrible. Shut down and restart. Whose audible sounds horrible? We sound horrible, guys?
No.
Dude, I'm sick,
Facebook.
but come on.
I think we sound good. Let me hold on. Let me see here real quick. Hold on. All right, let me back it up.
All right.
That sounds good. It's not as good as I
It's
usually do.
Facebook.
I had a microphone catastrophe as we started, as you guys remember. I literally was like, I was watching the intro and it was just about to start. My microphone went bling and all the screws fell off. Like I got all little screws around and shit. You see all little screws, little tiny screws. I had to find these things. Can you imagine? So anywho, we got to give away some Manscaped stuff before we leave. Don't forget, guys, if you haven't subscribed to the channel on YouTube, please do. It's the only way that you can be entered to win a lawnmower 4.0 in tonight's stream. We're giving away a lawnmower 4.0 to a random subscriber. That's the word I'm looking for, subscriber. So you have to be subscribed to the channel. I'm going to go into the list of subscribers. I'm going to zoom, and I'm just going to pick one. We had a guy who won the Weed Whacker last on Tuesday. He's got 7 days to claim the prize. If he doesn't claim the prize, then he will be pushed out, and we'll give that one away. But right now we're giving away a brand new lawnmower 4.0. And by brand new, I mean Frankie only used it twice. So that's all it is underneath there, down there. So it's a brand new lawnmower 4.0. So thank you, Sluggo. Sluggo says you sound marvelous. So again, if you didn't hear us, Gutman, get off of Facebook, come on over to YouTube, and you'll see the whole thing. Maybe he said he had to shut down. Just come on over to YouTube. Let us
Get
know
off
when we get to
Facebook.
YouTube.
Facebook is dying. It's dying.
Yeah,
The
it needs
kids don't
Elon.
like the
If Elon Musk wants to buy it, maybe it'll have a chance. But right now, I don't
Yeah.
know.
Kids are not on Facebook, and then once the kids are not on it, it just erodes, fades away. It's going to be another Friendster.
Yeah, look, Indiana Jet says green bean with loose screws. Who knew? Yeah, it makes sense. It's apropos, as they say. But yeah, right. Hawks, it definitely sounds different. Plus my voice is out, but it's definitely different without question. It's funny because this is the mic I used to run, but I didn't do all my settings. I just turned it on and hit the button, and so we're here. But anywho, let's bring Jeremy on, and we're going to do a little bit of trivia with Wat2K. I can't wait. Barney Miller, Facebook is awesome. Jeremy, you ready to come on? We'll do a little Jets trivia. Wat2K is under the weather, but he's still ready to do it.
You're not supposed to
He's
be
with
calling
Glenn.
the Glenn
Get off the phone with Glenn right now.
Yeah, he's
Glenn
calling Glenn.
Encyclopedia is banned. Banned.
It's dying like Facebook.
Adrian Gutierrez says the Raiders are not cutting Carr. Why'd they bench him, buddy? They bench him and he left the team. Last
What
two
they're
games.
doing. Yeah, but who knows what the hell they're doing?
Yeah, we don't know.
Yeah, Adrian's got some opinions. There's a few I agree with and a few I'm just shaking my head at, but that's okay.
Aaron Butler, get out of here. Okay.
He's still alive?
I'm telling you, I asked him, I said, what, realistically, like what is the malfunction? Why are you still here? We played you week 1, dude.
The
One.
And the
He's
Bengals
being
are
paid.
better. The
Bro, I
Bengals
thought
are
you were in
better.
witness protection. What the
It's
hell?
the 10-cent army, man.
No,
He's getting paid.
he comments on almost every video that at
That's
least
what
one a
I'm
week.
saying. He gets paid per post. That's what the 10-cent army is. He gets paid 10 cents per post.
Who does that? How do I do that?
You it's a known thing in the internet, let's say.
Well, who pays you? How do you get that?
It depends it depends. Like the 10-cent army comes from the Chinese government. You know, the Chinese government used to do that. You know, they would pay people to affect certain political things. You know, like there's all these BYU booster bots. I'm pretty sure the BYU booster clubs and all that pay a lot of people to go around to influence about Zach Wilson, you know. And that's what we see on our channels. It's because there's people who are, you know, want certain opinions about certain issues. I don't know what it would be about the Ravens, but maybe it's who knows? Somebody's paying them. So why else would you waste your time doing that?
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know what I mean. Aaron Butler, I have to think there's some mental illness. If it's not Frankie, I mean, they're the last thing I'd be doing. Oh, look at Jeremy using a lawnmower 4.0. Yeah, we'll do a full ad and we'll do the as you guys can see, I have my Manscaped products right here for you to gaze upon. This is the weed whacker that I just gave away on Tuesday. I'm hoping that he reaches out to me. He has not as of yet. So we'll see how that goes. But again, tonight we're going to give away a lawnmower 4.0, which is kind of that's the creme de la creme, man. That's their top of the heap item. Now, let me tell you guys this. I'm not supposed to tell you yet, but I'm going to tell you. Shh. You can't tell anybody that I told you guys this, okay? As of, I think it's the 17th of January, I will have the brand new Manscaped beard line, including oils, balms, brushes, a brand new beard buzzer, all kinds of different stuff. I can't wait to try it. Shh, I'm not supposed to tell you, okay? They said don't tell them yet. Shh, just don't let them know I told you. But anyway, you can still save 20%, but we'll get to that in a minute. So Wat2K, if you didn't know, here he is. Look, Aaron Butler, Wat2K. I hope to see you in the playoff. Now he's being nice. Okay, well, thank you, Aaron Butler. Still don't know why you're here. So Wat2K does trivia. Here's the rules of the trivia, everybody. Wat2K has dug up some interesting and usually very applicable to this current week's game and such. He dug up a nice trivia question for us. He's going to ask us. We all have the opportunity to answer, whether it's Jeremy, Frankie, myself, and you guys in the chat. But we ask you to, on the honor system, please do not utilize a search engine. The reason Jeremy's on here is because he likes to reach out to Glenn. Jeremy, if I see you do this once, we know what you're doing. Okay? All right? Jeremy is a cheater, and he always gets the answer.
The way you got Bernie
year and a half
Parmalee
now.
at one time, I will never hear the name Bernie Parmalee without thinking of freaking Glenn.
Look, Glenn's phone is tapped. Yeah. So anyway, Wat2K gives us 4 minutes. We have 4 minutes to answer the question. And with that all said, Wat2K, the floor is yours.
Okay, I have been waiting a couple of weeks to ask you this question. I think this is going to be a pretty good one. So we're not going to go very far back in time at all. The last time the Jets played the Seahawks was in the year 2020. The Jets got strafed that game by a score of 40-3. Yeah. There were 8 players in that game who played for the Seattle Seahawks during that game, but have also played for the New York Jets at some point in their career. Your job is to name those 8 players. Your time starts now.
Well, at the top of the heap, it's Jamal Adams. Remember, he actually forced Sam Darnold out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage, and that counted as a sack because
Yes.
Sam's too stupid to throw the damn ball away. He just runs out of bounds with it behind the line of scrimmage. So that's one, Y2K. Do I have it?
That is one.
Coaches don't count, right?
Coaches do not count.
Tony Alexia wants the weed
I'm
whacker and
waiting
the
for
Trevor
somebody to
Packers.
say leak or that. Okay.
That's funny, Tony. Okay, so Bless on Austin from Jets Gang.
Bless Austin is incorrect.
Jermaine Kearse was on the Jets, but was a Seahawk. Does it go both ways? Is that what you're talking about? Or just Jets
No,
that were on the Seahawks?
They had to play for the Seahawks during that game in 2020, but also have been a Jet. So no, it's not Jermaine Kearse.
Ooh,
All right,
who's the
so-
field goal kicker.
Oh, Jason Myers. Thank you, Jeremy.
Jason Myers, very good.
No Glenn.
Was Geno Smith on the roster? I believe he was.
Geno Smith actually played that game. It was such a disaster. They brought in Geno for mop-up duty.
Wow.
got
Bless.
3.
I'm sorry. Brandon Shell is another hit. Thank you, Jets.
Good one. Brandon Shell. That's a good one. That's
How
correct.
many we got there?
That's 4 that you've got.
Harlan Abraham says Kern. Did Kern do it?
Does he mean curse?
I might think he does.
Yeah, Brett Kern, the old Titan spotter. No.
No. All right. Super Leroy says Andrew Tate is. I don't know. Maybe he's not. Maybe that's not your talking.
All right.
Perry Nickerson. Well, you're going the wrong way, Matthew Smith. We already said Perry Nickerson was not. Did you say he wasn't?
No, not Nickerson.
Ooh, the defensive lineman, Sheldon Richardson, or what was his name?
Oh, Sheldon Richardson, Jeremy.
Sheldon Richardson is incorrect.
Oh, he already moved on.
Oh, here
Yep. Dwayne Brown is correct.
Dwayne Brown.
Dwayne Brown.
Dwayne
is correct.
Brown?
He played that game. Dwayne Brown was the Seahawks.
But he's on the Jets. You said
He's
it was
on-
the other way.
No, I said no. Had to play for the Jets at some point in their career, whether now or before. But they
Oh,
played
you
for the
silly
Seahawks
bastard.
at that
I
time.
thought so.
then
DJ Reed counts then
DJ
too.
Reed. There you go. You got 2 left.
All right. So then we have who else? So we got George Fant.
George
Yes.
was Fan on the team 2 years.
Yep.
Swing
Yes,
kicker.
George Fan. You know what? You got me. There's 9. You actually have 2 more. Very good.
George Fant.
George.
Well,
yeah,
wait, was George
Fan
Fant
was there 2
here?
years ago. Yeah, Fan. Yeah.
All right.
Was
So we got Barney Miller says Jamal and
Fan
Gino.
usually
Right.
when Darnold
Big
was there. I
cravat.
could have sworn he was a Jet then, but all right, whatever.
Yes.
All right.
Snowball says Alexa, what 8 players have played for the Jets and Seahawks?
Yeah.
Exactly. You cheating
Well, as long
bastard.
as it's, yeah.
Alexa counts as a search engine. Bradley McDougal.
Wow, that's a name out of the past.
Yeah.
He didn't play in that game though. Bradley McDougal.
Super Leroy.
I'll give
Uh,
you
George
one, but he
Fant.
wasn't playing in that game. Isaiah Dunn is on the Seattle Seahawks.
Wow.
Isaiah Dunn.
It
Well,
wasn't
Isaiah
in
Dunn wasn't a Seahawk
He
back
was
then.
here
No,
still.
not
Right.
back then. But just so you
Has
know,
he played or is he practiced squad?
No.
It's a good question.
he's been injured. He's come back to practice this week. He might be active. He might not, but he's been injured.
Okay.
All right. So give us the list of who we had, please.
You've got Geno Smith, Brandon Shell, Jamal Adams, DJ Reed, Dwayne Brown, Jason Myers, and we're going to go with George Fant. So there's
Okay.
2. Yeah, we need
So
2
we
more
have
names.
2 more.
And one of them was mentioned in the chat right at the beginning. There was one name mentioned. Yep, I see it again from Jacob
Who?
Finnegan.
Who?
Harrison.
Snacks Harrison.
I didn't know.
Snacks.
Seahawks.
Wow.
All
right.
Very good.
There is one more name. I'll give you the 4 minutes elapsed, but I'll give you
Oh,
that.
James Carpenter. Wait, did James Carpenter go to the Seahawks?
I think Carpenter came from the Seahawks. I'll double check. But I don't think
Yeah.
so. You know what?
Yeah, he went down to Atlanta, didn't he? I think he went to Atlanta, maybe, after us.
James Carpenter guard.
Oh, Harlan, you're thinking Curse. Curse.
I thought I was thinking Jermaine Curse.
Yeah, that's what I think too.
No. Carpenter was a Seahawk from 2011 to 2014. All right. There's one name I have not seen yet. One name. And GreenBean, I'm going to tell you one thing. I watched one of your videos and you mentioned this guy this week on one of your shows.
Oh my goodness.
Who are you talking about, GreenBean?
Oh my God, I talk so much, Jeremy. I never shut up.
Through your 4-hour
I'm trying to
marathons.
think of the former 49ers. Which
I know I
44
had help from Matt
Positive I've
O'Leary
not
for
seen this name.
15 minutes, and the rest was just me. Blah, blah, blah,
Which
blah.
former 49er Jets were also Seahawks maybe at one point? Quan Alexander?
He Barney, I will give you this. He is not on the
Mentioned
Jets
in
now.
recent
He came
weeks.
into the league as a Jet, and he's moved on to other teams since.
Geezer Butler. That's good. Good pull. Good pull. I mentioned him. Well, my player profile this week was Nathan Shepard, so that can't apply. Let's see. The linebackers.
Give me
Safe.
a bag of donuts.
Ode Ibushi was on the. Somebody said Ode Ibushi. He was on the Seahawks in 2017 only. It is not Ode Ibushi.
You said someone who started the Jets.
David Moore, Dom C says.
David
No.
Moore, was he like the water boy? I don't know. I don't know.
I think
Don't
he's
know.
talking about the offensive line. Breno Giacomini.
Oh, Brennan Giacomini's a pretty good guess, but no, Giacomini was not on the Seahawks.
It's not JFM, right? JFM can't be it.
No, he was only. I think JFM's only been a Ram and a Jet.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I think.
Yeah,
Solomon Thomas. He wasn't over there yet.
he wasn't over there. No,
DK Metcalf.
I wish.
I know, right? Pete Carroll. You said only players, right?
Yeah, and Breno Giacomini was a Seahawk from 2010 to 2013.
Right. So we got Leon Washington. He was long. LDT.
Y'all are trying.
Hey, man, take a swing. You got to take a swing. LDT.
He was a Chief.
The Chief. Winters. He went.
He was a
right
Bill.
here, the Bills.
Yeah, the Bills take all our guys. We all know how that works.
Oh,
They take
man,
our
how much
offensive
time we still have?
Time ran out. But
Yeah.
I
Then
wanna
what are you
leave.
doing to me, man?
Okay.
I can't believe I can't. You made me crazy now. I don't know who the hell did I mention. I can't wait to hear.
Okay. The last player not named was Nick Ballore.
No, I
Oh.
dude. I just
We should
read him on the
We
injury,
should
but he
get
was
credit
over there.
for that. We should get
He
credit.
told he
for
was
that
on the
name.
injury report.
I
man.
should get credit for that, right, Frankie? I'm
We
taking
said
credit.
the man's name.
You
This
said his
dude,
name
that is
about an hour and a half ago. It was
is
Nick Ballore. He was on
painful.
Seahawks. Yep.
The easiest, the automatic answer to any
I
question.
knew it was going to be
guys,
a good one.
the automatic answer to any question of we played a team and they had a former Jet is think of the kicker.
I got to see if Fant
Oh,
was
yeah.
actually on the
And right.
Seahawks 2 years ago.
Yeah, it's good. You did, and that was good, man. That was a good pull. Wow, Nick Ballore. We talked about him. Oh man, I'm painful. He said it was on one of your shows this week. He sent me out into the past, Frankie. I didn't think this show.
It's very tricky.
George
Monte is
Fant
very
was
tricky.
and Fant was with the Jets by 2020 anyway, so Fant
Yeah,
actually
right.
wasn't one of them. So
That's
it
what I was
actually was,
thinking.
it was 8 players.
Yeah.
So was it? Sorry.
So Midnight Mike show. He's asking who number 12 is on the Jets. Well, there's never been another number 12 on the Jets since Joe Namath. Midnight Mike. The number is retired.
Retired.
You know, it's funny. He might be busting my balls because like a week ago, I was thinking, who's number 12 on the? I was like doing it, and I'm like, this is gonna. I said, I know I'm gonna end up finding out, and it's gonna kill me. It's gonna be an easy answer. And like
And
30 seconds later, I went, ooh, what an idiot. Yeah,
And that's why Tom Brady can't come to our team.
that's what the conversation was. I think that's what we were doing. Maybe it was us.
Shady Tom Brady cannot come to the Jets because he can't be TB12 anymore. So that's it.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Midnight Mike. All right, yeah, I got it. Yeah, he said, he might be busting my balls here. He is. Well, thank you for the $2 Bust My Balls show. And I'm gonna say this. We'll end the show now, but I'm gonna tell you guys something. All Jets fans, every last one of you should cut the shit with this Tom Brady stuff. I can't believe you would even entertain it. This guy,
I think
could
he
you
can come
imagine
here, man.
rooting for
It is-
Tom?
he could bring Guerrero. Alex Guerrero could come to our team and totally change the injury situation. I mean, think about it. We have all these injuries.
I would rather suck and lose with Tom Brady than win a Super Bowl with him. That is selling our soul.
I mean,
I
we all
can't
get upset
take
with
it.
these injuries. We got a guy here who's 45 years old that keeps playing, and nobody's talking about Alex Guerrero. He needs to come here and
What,
show
the
our
TV?
players how to stay healthy.
That's
What is he
right. He
doing?
could just dump pills down their neck, all straight from the TB12
Yeah.
stockpile.
Whatever the formula is, whatever's in those pills.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah.
We
Connor
see-
Hughes will be
look
tweeting
what
about
happens to Matt Ryan. Look what happens to Joe Flacco. That's normal. Look what's happening with Tom Brady. What's the difference? Its name is Alex Guerrero. And
Yeah,
if
look
he
at
came
Finnegan.
here, he could bring Alex Guerrero here. And then we'd have no more injuries anymore,
There
magically.
you go. That's what I heard. That's why Tom Brady can take less money because
Well, that's
he
the other
controls
thing.
it. Jacob Finnegan.
Yeah.
Stop it, Finnegan. Stop it.
He
Right.
means Brady
Tom
Quinn.
Brady.
He means Brady Quinn.
Yeah. See, Robbie Oaks got it. Hawks got it right. And right, look, Randilla says, he's looking old anyway, dude. Like, dude, you do realize that would be the biggest chunk of fool's gold we ever laid on the bank counter. Look what I found. And he'd be like, ha, 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 ha. Like, don't do it, dude. Don't bite.
It would be
It's like we're the fish that's gotten caught 6 times with the same damn lure. You know what I mean? Stop biting it.
I
know what I
guarantee
mean?
you he would either be injured or he would totally stink. Guaranteed. There's
He would
no
come
way he'd be good.
Right. He would come here just to suck.
But what if he went back to New England?
Good.
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 Yeah, he's done, dude.
Stick a fork in him.
That's right. Stick a fork in him. He's fucking me 46 years old.
I don't want him to go back there. I want just remember, the last pass that Tom Brady ever threw as a Patriot was a pick 6 at home to the Tennessee Titans, who stopped the Patriots out of the playoffs. I want that to be his lasting memory in the Navy blue and red.
Right.
And
It's
that's
very
why he
true.
would come back. That's why he would come back to erase that from you. He
Good.
wants to
Try and
take it
erase it.
from you, Y2K.
Go back to the well. Go back to the
Yeah.
well. I
Right.
love it.
More
And now the
records.
Jets
He
and the
needs
Bills
more
and everything.
Patriot records.
Listen, dude, half of the reason the Patriots had a dynasty is because the AFC East was hot garbage. They got 6 fucking wins free almost every year. The Dolphins, the Bills, and the Jets were garbage most of the time. They got imagine that if every team was gifted 6 wins every year. You know what I mean?
That's true, but
It's a different division now, Tom Brady. Got Sauce Gardner and Quinn and Williams going, kill you. That's the way it's gonna go.
I don't think he'd be too worried.
He would need to be. He doesn't have to be worried. He's gonna be dead. That's the way it's gonna go. Bill, everybody's gonna kick his ass. You don't want to come to the AFC East anymore. He knows. If he came, I would love it. I'm telling you, I'd love it.
What if
I'd
he goes
love
to the
it.
Dolphins?
I hate it.
Wouldn't shock
Tua's
me.
having concussion problems.
Yeah, somehow Tua's concussion problems are going to become just a little bit worse now.
You got to take care of him.
Let him,
Yeah.
dude. We're seeing it, man. We're seeing. I mean, Tom Brady still is better than any quarterback that we had,
Yeah,
but he's on the decline, dude. He's on the decline. He is. There's
he's
no way.
46.
Hey, FOC.
We're saying he's on the decline. The man's 46.
I
When is
know.
he going to stink at age 51?
I don't know.
It's
I don't know.
ridiculous.
It is. It's ridiculous. It's absurd.
It's
I
ridiculous.
hate it.
Third.
I hate it. I hate him. I hate it.
How are you 46 years old and your face looks like you're 25? How does that work?
Well,
I
we
know.
know.
I think his
that.
face is shrinking, like it's growing
Yeah, it's-
inward, like every
yeah, you
day.
noticed
his
that too,
face
right?
gets thinner.
Well, how?
His cheeks are anorexic.
Because
I
he's
don't know how
not
he does
real.
it.
He's a
It's
fucking.
weird.
He's a
Botox.
reptilian. He's a reptilian. He's a liar. He's the devil. He's all those things. And he's never eaten one slice of Pizza Hut pizza in his life. Dude.
He's not a man.
He's got some pizza, I bet.
What does he do? Does he just eat celery? Like, is he
They
eating
just
celery and
inject the
walnut?
avocado ice cream into his jawline.
Hey, dude, look at Phil here. I'm not going to say it out loud, but everybody take a little gander at how Phil feels about it.
I think you got to, Phil, man. I think you got to open your mind, man. You got to be
No
open,
way.
more open-minded. Open up your mind, man. to the
Frankie, we'll open our
possibilities,
minds
man.
to Josh Dobbs as the QB3, not to that.
Well,
I like that he had a throw-in rusty knife. Visit one.
Yeah.
Yeah, as
already.
opposed to a sharp one,
A rusty spooner
because
knife.
that would be better.
Yeah, I know. Like Twisted says Brady's going to the Fins. I honestly believe if Tom Brady sticks around, and I think he might because he did get a divorce because of it. He said, I don't care, Giselle. I want football more.
well, these women, this is his second divorce. If you were married to
Oh,
a
yeah.
husband who came in from the Alex Guerrero sessions screaming all the time, let's go in the kitchen, because he's all hyped up on Alex Guerrero pills, whatever they may be. you'd be a little upset too. It's like, Tom, we're trying to have dinner here. Can you shut the hell up? What are you talking about? And he's all roided up. He's all raging in the kitchen. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I do think he's staying though, and I think that if he does, he's a Miami Dolphin or he's an Oakland Raider or a Las Vegas Raider. That's what I think. Josh McDaniels is up there. I think it's realistic.
I think it's the Raiders. That's what
Raiders
they're probably
makes a
doing.
lot of sense. I don't hear it being talked about. It makes sense.
And they're going to release Carr. Carr is going to be a free agent, I think.
Yeah. So, all right, guys, we can talk about Tom Brady hate all damn day. Barney Miller just says, I'd rather have Zach Wilson play cornerback than Brady play quarterback. I'm with Barney. Guys, we're going to wrap it up. Oh, I got to give away the thing. All right. So let me do this real fast. So as you guys know, we are
uses Manscaped.
What's that?
What if Tom Brady uses Manscaped?
Doesn't matter what. I got to love him now.
Yeah.
No?
Well, I just don't want to use the one he used.
Oh.
Yeah, right. So as you guys know, the channel is sponsored by Manscaped. Truth is, this is an off week. We're doing the beard line, and I have a whole push coming with the next stuff. But I do want to give away a Manscaped product for you guys, the Lawnmower 4.0, which if you guys don't know what it looks like, Jeremy has it right in his hand. And if you buy the performance package, it comes in this delightful leather case and all sorts of, look at that thing. The Lawnmower 4.0, guys, comes with the flashlight. If you care about down there, a flashlight helps. I'm going to tell you right now. Yeah. So it comes with all sorts of fun stuff, including the crop preserver. Okay. It comes with, what's the other one? All kinds of fun stuff. You got the crop reviver. Now, crop, guys, this is also called ball toner. This one's also called ball deodorant. So there's all kinds of fun stuff in the performance package. If you use the promo code GreenBean, which is in the description, the link and promo code are in the description, you can save yourself 20% on, honest to God, guys, the finest men's grooming products on the market today. There's no comparison. It's funny. I actually got an offer to do another company. They have something called the Pube Muncher, Frankie. The Pube Muncher. Yeah, that's what it's called. I was like, no, thanks. I'm good.
No. Yeah,
I'm good with the Pube Muncher. I'm going to stick with Manscaped. So there's no comparison, guys. They're the greatest products for this particular genre, men's below the waist grooming. And you'd be very happy with the products. If you got them, you can save yourself 20% in addition to any sales that they're having on their website. You tack the 20% on top of it at checkout, and it's a great move. So we're going to go ahead and give away the Lawnmower 4.0. I'm going to go into my channel right now. I'm going to go into the list of subscribers. If you haven't subscribed, right now is the time. And if you do it right now, you're going to be included right now. We are still 145 away, I think, 140 away from 10,000. Getting nervous. So we got 2 more days to see if we can do it by the time we get to my 2-year anniversary, which is right around the corner, guys. So it's getting grim. But here we go. Going to my subscribers. Here we go. Look at this. All right. Hold on. I'm getting it to 100. I'm going to scroll down this one. Okay. All right. Here we go. One page of 7. Hold on. Oh, shit. I hit the wrong button. Here it is. Okay. See your members. All right. Okay. The winner is Chode Ooglis. Chode Ooglis. Chode. I think Chode was in here earlier. I don't know if
It's
he's
Knobcraft. It's Knobcraft.
Is it?
I'm pretty sure it's Knobcraft. Yeah, he changed his
Well, I
name.
see Knobcraft too. How is Knobcraft Chode as well?
Oh, 2 accounts.
Chode. Look at that. What a wonderful thing. I love the name Chode. So let me see if you're in here. I'm going to do the thing. Can somebody do the @Chode and see if he's in here right now?
Doing it now. @Chode. Yeah, he's in here.
All right, Chode, all you got to do, all you have to do is email me. My email's in the description. go ahead and send me an email. Give me your social security number and your wife's maiden name and your credit card information, and I'll send you. No, just give me your address, your name, and where you want it shipped to. And congratulations, Chode. I appreciate you being a subscriber to the channel, and I'm glad for you today. You're going to love it. It's a great product. I'm happy for you. Please reach out. If Chode does not reach out in 7 days, I will represent it and give it away. Okay? So congratulations, Chode Uglis. Congratulations, us. We are alive in the playoff hunt, everybody. Try to enjoy these next few days. We will be going live on Sunday to cover the entire game at probably like 3:45, but we might go earlier. I don't know. I haven't talked to Jeremy. Maybe it's the Patriots-Miami game. Maybe we go a little early and watch the second half of that or something. Who knows? We'll see. But that said, I want to remind everybody I am live every day, Tuesday through Saturday, 9 a.m. for Good Morning Jets, a brand new live stream. Wake up, GreenBean, and let's talk about all the news of the day. Nice and quick, 30, 45 minutes. We'll just discuss the news and go to work. So you can check me out right here on this channel every day, Tuesday to Saturday, that is, and that's at 9 a.m. Eastern time. Jeremy, very, very quickly, what are you doing? What you got?
I'll be back with you on Sunday. This is the biggest game I think we've done together since I've joined you in this venture. I'm excited about it, and of course, the normal Jets chaos. You guys know where to find me.
Awesome. Y2K.
Just put out a couple of videos, not just about the Jets, but about a couple of things. I even did a video that's getting some attention for baseball fans. Why Mets owner Steve Cohen is not the new George Steinbrenner. So if that interests you, check that out. And of course, I'm giving you my usual football load. The bold predictions video is up. The confidence picks are up. The Jets versus Seahawks game preview video will be up tomorrow. And there's always more stuff coming up at New York Sports Wikimedia. Thanks, everybody, for watching. We appreciate it.
There you go. Yeah, New York Sports Wikimedia. There's not just Jets. He's got a little seasoning. So some other stuff on there. Very interesting. Frankie, what do you got coming up, buddy?
Frankie from Flatbush Channel, Coffee with Frankie, 11 a.m. on Sunday. I'm going to do it 11 a.m., even though we're playing at 4:05, and that's going to be weird. But check it out, 11 a.m., Coffee with Frankie, live stream on Sunday.
All right, there you go. Once again, if you have not subscribed, please do us a solid and do it. If you haven't hit the like button, please do so on your way out. It helps more than you think it does, guys. We appreciate you being here, and I will see you all at 9 a.m. tomorrow. Have a great night, everybody.
Yeah, here we come, baby. Here we come. Here come the Jets, baby.
I want to kiss you.
Thanks, Joe.
Yeah!
You want to run or you want to duck down? You want to duck, just go over and get onto the bench and stay there.
You play to win the game.
My message for the fans, we're all frustrated with where we are right now.
Jets, Jets, Jets.